there, so give it a shot. It was fun. It was fun. I do think it's probably a game that you want to play with friends. Hey, good evening, everyone on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Now we're just going to have a normal stream where I drink some beer with you guys and hang out. And it's going to over and over and over say, I'm broadcasting. At least to me. Hello, YouTube. Hello. Thank you for being here. We are going, I apologize for being late. I think it's the first time I've been late. We're going to be playing some Cities 2 in Bayport. But before we do that, I just want to let you all know that we're having a charity stream over on Twitch tonight. So if you have the inclination and desire to donate either a gifted sub or a membership or something like that, please instead consider going over to Twitch and donating to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina. This is a Second Harvest is a food pantry. They're a member of hold on. They are a member of, they used to be called Second Harvest. Now, Feeding America. So it's a nationwide a nationwide group of food banks that work together. And Second Harvest of Northwest North Carolina is providing food and resources to folks in Asheville because the Manna Food Pantry in Asheville was completely wiped out by the hurricane. So if you could, if you have the means to do so, and you're thinking of giving bits or getting a super chat or whatever, please do that instead, and we'll try to raise some money. And the money that I got paid for the sponsored bit, I will donate as well to the food pantry. And I said I would match up to 500. We're almost there, so I will be giving some money. I don't know if I can do that during the stream. I might give it a try. Anyway, yes, new haircut. YouTube is a little behind there, 15 seconds behind. Guys, you know what else I'm behind on? I'm drinking a Coke and not a beer. So you're from Western North Carolina, so you appreciate all the love. Hey, if the name sounds familiar, you did your BS in Boone. Boone sounds familiar. So I have a cousin in the Asheville area. So yeah. How much is left before I hit 500? You guys gonna make me do math. $33? $33. YouTube just witnessed how Phil disrespected topography. I did bad things to topography. Terrible things. I can share a direct link. First record, I have no idea how to do that, but if could you help me? Oh, I think I figured it out. Well, I know how to donate myself. CPP. Hold on. I'm gonna give a donation as well, and then we'll get going. So how's everyone doing tonight? Give me just 1 second while I get this set up. Let's see. DM'd me. Thank you, First Snack Run. I appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Okay. YouTube. You can find me there and give to the charity if you'd like. I will give at some point. I'm screwing up my password, probably because I'm late and nervous. But I'll lock myself out of PayPal. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. So let's first of all, I'm just gonna breathe for a second. How am I? I'm good. I see more aerodynamic today. I am. That's why I gotta throw on the hat to calm it down. I didn't just get a haircut. So I've had one haircut since I was I paid for one haircut since I was 18. When I turned 18, I went to Walmart and I bought a pair of clippers, and I've been using them ever since. They're in kind of a rough spot, but they're metal. They work really well. So yeah. PayPal banned you? That sucks. All right. I just put my donation through, so we're good. So I'm pre-matching. I'm hoping that you guys are gonna match. So I'll put my money where my mouth is. You use clippers well. It's cheap. I think I paid $20 for these clippers, and I think about how much money I've saved over time. So this is like, at this point, it'd be 20 years of using the same pair of clippers, and I've just been doing it over and over and over and over again. So they have paid for themselves like 1,000 times over. So it's been a great deal for me. So, hey CPP, do you recommend pushing CS2 in its current state if you already own CS1? What I've been recommending to literally anyone who asks me that question is, if you have the ability to get a copy of the game to test it out on your rig, do that. So if you have Game Pass, give it a shot. Yeah, and I'm not gonna spend $30 on a haircut. No way. I did it once. I went to Supercut. It was Grit Clips, one of the two. No. Sports Clips. That's the one. I went to Sports Clips, and it was a nice experience, but I didn't want to talk to people, and I just got talked to the entire time. I didn't want to do that. Anonymous, thank you for gifting Batch the sub historian. Thank you so much for the Prime. Wits and Brains, thank you so much for the Prime. Joshua DMC, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate you guys. You got your haircut twice in 2020. You gave up. Crazy Mage. I fully support that. Where is everyone tuning in from? I'm very curious. You go to a Korean-owned barbershop? What is the difference between just a traditional barbershop and a Korean-owned barbershop? Do they trim differently, or? Texas, New Mexico, Rio, Calgary, Portland, Caledonia, Wisconsin, New Zealand, Atlanta, Birmingham, Elgin, Murfreesboro, Australia, Iraq, Atlanta. Very meticulous. Wassa, love it. Boston, Vancouver, Montreal, Jacksonville, Boyle Heights, Victoria, British Columbia, Russia, Montgomery, Arkansas, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Minneapolis, Moscow, Pittsburgh, Denver, Indiana, Sarasota. Hopefully you're okay there. Hopefully you're okay in Sarasota. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I know it was a little bit different of a stream to begin, but now it's going to be basically as normal as could be. I'm not sure how many of you guys were here to see. I'm failing. I was showing you guys the next video that's coming out is going to be the Ultimate Beginner's Guide. It's been about a month since I released one, and we're going big. You can see that we're going big. Hello from St. Matthews, Kentucky. Normally from Reading, Pennsylvania, but you're here and work hard. Hopefully everything's good there. Madison, love it. Niagara Falls, love it. Okay, trying to figure out where I tap on your phone to donate. What are you missing? There is a link. So I see it in the chat window. It's at the top. So hopefully you can see it there. For everyone who's donating, you guys, I appreciate your generosity. I think this is a really, really worthy cause. So I looked into a lot of different charities. I just, for anyone who missed, I know Second Harvest. I volunteered for them. We have a Second Harvest locally, so yeah. You need a train tunnel, you think? Well, before we dive into that, I'll let this run and I'll show you guys the issues that we're having. So this is a playthrough on the Bayport, Michigan map. Absolutely beautiful map by Rafterman. If you didn't catch us, we've been building this during the day normally, but I've decided to bring this into the evening because I'm really excited about this fix. So we have a lot of mods. It's basically the Magnolia County mods in this playset, which means that we have Tigon's amazing rail assets, and we decided to build around the rail assets, the rail infrastructure. And I placed this here. I think it was not the right choice because you can actually have your trains enter and exit either side of this facility. So I think the fix that we're gonna have is to relocate this thing. But here's the city. We built it around our passenger rail station. Got a little bit of density right here. And we spent almost the entire stream last time building this thing based on your guys' request. So there's what we did. We've got a lot accomplished, but we were bleeding money before, so we kind of just had to chill out and, emote only. Wonderful. So that is what we were up to. So the big problem we have here is all of this roadway infrastructure rail was already in place, and we added a dedicated lumber cargo yard right here to serve our forestry industry. And it crosses this main drag right here, this main road. It's not main drag, but it's one of the main highways in the area, which is offset, which has a pretty gnarly intersection right here. And it's crossed multiple times by our trains, and we have our super long trains, so they are blocking everything up, and it's turning into a complete disaster. So did anyone submit their solutions to the rail from last week? I was not pinged at all, so I do not see it. Move the rail by 45 degrees. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're likely going to just take this thing and have it at a 45-degree angle here, and then rather than going all the way up here, we'll just come out this way and go right in. That's what I think the solution is, but we're going to have to experiment a bit. Hey, CPP, I think you said you're going to build some pedestrian bridges over the canal last stream. We will do that. We will do that. Train traffic. Do we travel to Verde Beach? Listen, the planner's the same, which is why the train traffic is still terrible. The thing that I'm the most sad about is B. Squigelhausen helped put this together. This is one of our issues. Look at this. This is why we're having all of our traffic. The train is deciding that to get over here, rather than just going out this way and turning around at the region, they're deploying new trains right here, and it's happening constantly because they're despawning. So it's not good. It's not good. So we're going to resolve this. I need to grab a drink. I don't have one in here just yet. I have to make some dedicated passenger rail. You're probably right about that. We probably need more tracks here, and I didn't leave space for it, which is lovely. And to make more space for it, we'll have to take out a whole bunch of townhomes, because good planning. Good planning. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. In the meantime, I will let you guys admire the beautiful train traffic. And you guys, I'll put it on 3 times speed while I grab the beers. You guys are gonna have to choose what I'm drinking too. So give me 1 second. Your eyes, I know. This is bad. This is really, really bad. D Kohler, thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate you. Missed the early part watching from Nebraska. Thank you for being here. Panda Time, thank you so much for the Prime as well. So my wife got me these Belgian beers. So I think I'm going to try some of those. But you guys need to help me figure out which one. Hey, City Planner Plays, the highest population I've had in a city so far that I have had. I build slowly. So I think the highest I've had is like 250,000. So my goal is never to build fast. And part of that is the realization that I will kill my city if I build too quickly. You know? Okay, hold on. Let's here's what we have. So my wife picked these up. Hublon, Chauffé. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I've got 3 different kinds. This one is an IPA. This one right here is a blonde. And then the last one is, it's a cherry. So I'm gonna ask you guys on Twitch which ones that we should have. You're watching Verde Beach right now, where I fixed the train. Is it the one where I fixed the train, or where the one where Lee Hawkins actually fixed the train? Which beer? Cherry, IPA, or the blonde? I'll give you guys 1 minute and you can waste some channel points if you'd like to. Fat Coney, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner over on YouTube. Trains like in Germany, perfect, love it. Dragonfire, thank you for becoming an associate planner. The IPA, the cherry, vote. The cherry looks like it's winning so far. And honestly, I'm good with any of them. My wife said that when she bought these, the person who checked her out was very excited for her to get these. Oh, cool. Twitch planner is still talking about Overthrown. That's amazing. I will fix that later, but it's probably gonna just keep talking about it for a while. Did I not update the stream info? Maybe that was the issue. There we go. The answer to the mix is all three. You guys want me to be absolutely hammered. That sounds like a terrible idea. That sounds absolutely terrible. The cherry one. So I will crack it open. And to that, cheers, everybody. Let's get building. Oh, solid choice, guys. Little sweet. It doesn't even taste like a beer. Doesn't even taste like a beer. Like slight beer flavor. 8% alcohol. Jeez. Okay, well, I will drink slowly. Yes, I am a Bucks fan. I am very excited. Actually, so, chat. I'm a big fantasy basketball fan, and our draft was scheduled to occur in the middle of the Overthrown stream. So a little bit disappointed in my poor planning of that. So I don't know what my team looks like right now, but I'm hoping I got Giannis. Even though this year he was like, I think 40th. Hold on. Who is my number? Who's on my roster? Oh no. James Harden, Paul George, Tobias Harris. I got like the oldest team in the world. And I feel Chris Paul, oh my goodness. It auto-drafted me a bunch of 40-year-olds. And like, listen, as someone who is getting there, that's great, but oh my goodness, my team is awful. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm glad that I've got a team of guys that I'm peers with. That's amazing. Let's fix this nonsense here. I'm gonna take a quick picture of this because I want to make sure that I can recreate this. So let's see. I think I can screen. There we go. Now that I think about it, I don't even know where this is going. Okay, I think I figured it out. All right, I've got a picture, so I can see this. Oh, I am nervous, chat. I'm very nervous. Just move it. So I would use move it just like this, but we tried that in the last stream. And it got pretty gnarly. It got real bad real quick. So I think okay. I'm gonna leave space. Should I leave space for the pasture? No, I'm not going to. I'm gonna get it nice and tight. I'll just put it just like this. And then I'm gonna stall for time, because of course you guys are cool with that. I'm just gonna do this instead. We'll focus on trees and landscaping and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Could I give you a screen cap of the problem area on Discord? Sure, I can give you. Okay. Where should I place this? I'm gonna dump it into general chat. So if you care about this, there is both the problem area and the old version of the track layout. So you guys have exactly what I'm looking at, what I'm holding on to. So the game plan, the trains can exit both ways. So I want to recreate that exact same pattern that we had with the tracks over here. And I probably need to do it before we get to this road. Where is B. Squigelhausen? That fantasy team would have been great 10 years ago. It would have been. So the problem is I basically have the Golden State Warriors from last year. I even have Andrew Wiggins. So like, yeah, it's not a good team. It's not a good team. I don't know what happened, but I feel like it auto drafted me the worst lineup it possibly could, which is fine. It'll make it interesting. At least there's no money involved. Lower the tracks or build a bridge. Here's the thing. I feel like okay. Here's why I don't want to do that. I feel like all of those complicated solutions are coming at this problem with a sledgehammer, and we just need a scalpel. Like, this is a small town. I don't think that those are reasonable solutions for a town that's this size. So I agree, like those that could fix it. I don't know that it's reasonable for a city this size. That's my only apprehension there. I'll have to use Move It to fix these. I think I had to last time as well. Oh, that's so ugly. It's so ugly. My eyes. I should give space between the depot and the main line. You think so? Just back it out like maybe one train track length. Let me say, I'm gonna fix these and I'll use Move It to move everything back. I shouldn't. That's a real stupid idea. I'm gonna see if I can. I like to play with fire. Oh, nope. I'm not gonna be able to figure that out. So yeah, I'll move it back just a little bit. That's not a bad idea. You wish the devs actually had time to better this game. Could have been crazy good. I think it still will be. So I hear what you're saying, and I've said this. The launch stunk. I don't think anyone was super excited about that. Game's gotten a lot better. It's still got some issues. As long as they continue to be dedicated to fixing it, then great. And I know that the silence has been really frustrating to a lot of people, but I guess I don't hate it personally. I would much rather they focus on getting the game right than talking with us about how the game is not right. So at this point, I hope that they spend the time to get it working the way that I think it should be working. Launch was so bad. I'll tell you what. I think the biggest problem with launch was that they went so hard on marketing, and like the marketing campaign was actually like pretty solid. So to go at the game with such a crazy marketing campaign and then deliver what was delivered, like it's not wise. Not wise. The homeless issue still a game breaker for you. So it's funny. I loaded up the Ultimate Beginner's Guide, and immediately the homeless issue was fixed. So it's not every city. I don't understand why it works sometimes and other times it doesn't. So Magnolia County, if I don't have that the homeless fix in there, it just keeps spiraling. And I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, your city's just not well balanced." Like that very well might be the case, especially when you figure all of the things that, you know, we've all been accounting for so long at this point. But also I feel like it's not that far off, or it shouldn't be. Maybe what we need, you know, with Move It in the original Skylines, you could reset all the buildings And maybe if we had that, I could get it. I could completely balance the economy, because I do wonder, especially with setting all the buildings to when there was the land value issue, and we set all the buildings to be level 5 basically, if that ruined everything. Hard to say. Yeah. So you're asking about this mod? Yeah, this is Tigon's rail infrastructure pack, and it is absolutely, for me at this point, it's not a required mod, but I think that the game is about 1,000 times more fun with this one. And I really like Tigon, so that also helps. I trust that they're going to keep this updated. That's why this is actually the only asset. Tigon's assets are the only ones that I have in my entire mod set, because I've been really reluctant to use assets until there's official support. I know a lot of people have used custom zoning and different things like that, and if I didn't want to have my save last a long time, I would certainly go for it. But oh my goodness, this is gonna drive me insane. What am I doing wrong, guys? What am I doing wrong? Do I just need to go at a better angle? Can I delete the node? No, there's not a way to delete a node. What I'm thinking is maybe I need to go at like 153 degrees. Like that one looks cleaner now. And then I'll turn on only the 90. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Draw it the other way around. Build this straight out of the depot first. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Oh, that's so smart. I can't believe I didn't think to do that. You know, it's funny. There are a couple of times like that. Like in the last Magnolia County, where I was clicking around a whole bunch, someone said, well, why don't you use the line tool with random rotation to place all the rocks? And honestly, it's because it never came to mind for me that could be an appropriate solution. Okay, this looks good. I have anarchy on though. Oh, you are a wizard. You are a wizard. You were just gonna suggest that too through a DM? Poplar. Never be afraid to DM me. Discord's open, so I can see it. It's right there. Yeah, beautiful. I'm super happy about that. So the whole reason that we did this, we have to do it on both sides, so I'm glad we figured that out, is we're just gonna angle directly from here. Well, so this train track, I was really reluctant to change it because it's the actual track from the city, or from the community. But you know what? We are now in Fictionlandia. So I'm gonna try something. And I might regret this. We'll see. What I'm thinking is we'll have this run parallel to the road. And then we'll curve in from here, and then we'll reorient this. And then we have less crossings of that main highway. Like that. Or at least we prevent the crossing to get to our cargo facility. And then for this, all the crossings on this road, absolutely horrendous. Maybe here we can figure out a bridge or something. I don't know. I don't like the way that looks at all. I don't know what you guys think. Can I use Road Builder to build a 4-lane track with small median between the two? I could, but again, is that coming at this with a sledgehammer when all we really need is a scalpel? I don't know. I don't know. You're not always here for the lives. But damn, you love this channel? Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hello from Greece. Hey, thank you for being here. Hopefully everything is well in Greece. I want to get back and visit Greece at some point. It's one of my favorite places that I've ever visited. It's a place that I could see myself spending a year living in. I would absolutely love that. I can add a little bit of a spiral on each end to ease the curve, but I generally want constant radii. B. Squigelhausen. Thank you for being here. All of that hard work from the previous stream, I've destroyed it. I've mangled it. So, okay. I see what you're saying. I'm going to use the continuous curve tool and just see. Oh, it's just a little bit too far. Howdy, internet friends. Big Fuddlebutt. Thank you for being here. Good to see you, buddy. I'm just going to do my own thing and see if we can make it look nice. No. Why is it jaunting over like that? That is not what we want at all. What happened to Poplar? It still exists. Just wanted to try something new. That's the fun thing on stream, is being able to start over. We'll get back to Poplar at some point. It's not. I wouldn't say that it's done. So B. Squigelhausen, how much do you hate this? Is this? We're still gonna have 2 crossings of the train, though. The node is overlapping the road. Which one? This one? I think we're gonna sever this road. I don't think that road has to exist. I wonder if this needs to go back further. Hey now, CBB. Hey, Liquid Lakes. Thanks for being here. Slavish, thank you for being here. Or Savish, thank you for being here. Just saying, railroad would be a priority movements over roadways. The cargo depot should have a spur on the main line. Continue past your future harbor. I'm going to... You're right. It's just all too close to the road. It's all too close to the road. We're gonna mulligan harder. I'm gonna reestablish the main line. And we'll kind of go back to the basics. Bridges, I know. If I had, yeah, I know. You guys want me to take out the sledgehammer. I really didn't want to, but it's kind of where I'm heading. Thing is, with the number, so we either drop this way into the ground, which we could do, but now we're rebuilding all of the track, or we have a mess of bridges right here. I just don't see it. I just don't see it in a town this size. I don't see it. Batch, just tuck your kids in. Said goodnight, love you with your 4-year-old. Said I don't love you. Reply with I still love you. My goodness. Forget the sledgehammer dynamite. So I've thought about that. At the depot. Okay. What if we just put the thing over here? Like, it could really be on either side, or reasonably, we could buy a tile and place it over here. I think you guys are right. I think it can't be here. It just doesn't work. It does not work right here at all. When in doubt, C4. I think, okay. First time for everything. Let's buy a tile. We'll see what the tile upkeep is. Oh, these are great. They're so tiny. So I could probably just take like this farm. And it's painful to decommission it. Seeing the detail here. We can afford this. I'm going to buy this. Here's where we're going to put it. I'll put it right here. I think it's going to be wonderful. The tiles on the map are awesome. You guys want to check them out? Look at this. The tiles are legitimately the farms. It's so cool because that means that like if you had a big city here, you could consume farmland and say, this farmer was willing to sell. So was this one and this one and this one. And this is why it looks like this. And that's why there's a holdout right here. So cool. So cool. The only thing about this map that kind of stinks is there's so much detail, so much beautiful detail in what are basically prop buildings. So we've got to remove all of this detail to put this in, and it's painful because I'm removing like little bales of hay and stuff. It looks great, and it's a lot to remove, and it makes me feel bad every time. We just got to do it though. I will try to use my scalpel and not my sledgehammer. Is CS2 close to where CS1 was? I mean, that's kind of a really difficult thing to gauge. I mean, CS1, so CS1, you gotta remember, CS1 has, I don't even know how many mods or how many DLC CS1 has at this point, but a lot. So yeah, it's nowhere close to that game. Like not even like fractionally. But also there are things that I think you could argue this game does better. And then there are many things that this game has that it still doesn't do great at. So I think they're just different games. For me, once I got used to this game, CS1 felt old to me and I didn't want to play it anymore. So I would say if you're still happy with CS1 and you're on the fence about CS2, one of the things that I think to think about is I think a lot of people have been in this spot where they play CS2, they're not satisfied because they don't have all the things that they want, and you know there are bugs and different issues, and then they don't want to go back to CS2 and they stop playing. So, or they don't want to go back to CS1. So yeah, and the modding scene is just new on this as well. So a lot of great mods like Road Builder is like one of the finest mods to ever come out for either of the games. But then there are some basic functions that are missing. Like the ability to undo my mistake right here. I really wish I could fix this without manually placing every single one of these, and it's just not going to be possible. CS1 was amazing, but since starting CS2, I've been unable to do CS1. Can't go home again. God of Radio, I feel the exact same way. I just don't want to. It just feels old now. And I know that really disappoints some folks that I feel that way. And I feel bad about that, but not bad enough. Not bad enough to play it because I just enjoy playing this. Literally haven't played CS1 since you got CS2. Yeah. Easier to use move it to select and delete than the bulldozer. You can't delete from move it. So yeah, that's another kind of a bummer. You can't delete from move it. So I think that one of the things that this has all made me realize is I am not sure basically when different functions came to the game. What am I doing wrong? Ah, that's not right. You know what? I'm going to call that good enough. And I can use move it to fix some of this. Cheers. Cheers, City Skylines interchanges. Hopefully you're doing well tonight. I'm not sure. I have a sneaking suspicion I know what you do. City Skylines interchanges is one of the things I'm the worst at. You came from SimCity 4 straight to CS2? Pauly, how was that change? I can only imagine how wild that must have been. Other appliances, well, nothing really functioned when it came out. So it's not just that. It's that the performance was really rough for a lot of people. And I mean, even on my rig, which is ridiculously overpowered, I was struggling. I mean, I was kicking out so much heat that my office would get to 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, that's just not, that's not okay. Like, I was wearing shorts, and maybe this is TMI if you guys don't want to hear this, but I was recording a lot of my early access videos just like chilling in my shorts, no t-shirt on, just sitting in my office, getting sticky in the chair. It was gross. It was gross. Sounds like what your computer does to you when you're animating. I can see that. And the thing is, the game doesn't need, it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be like that. And a lot of people recognize that. You'll press the paint palette button to color things. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I love recoloring things. Or are you saying that there's a better way to do it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I think I see what you mean. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Does this do what I think it does? So, okay. Let's get some light buildings downtown. We'll grab the white. Oh my goodness, he just taught me something about this. That is sick. That is amazing. Well, now we're just gonna have a city full of white buildings. It's gonna be amazing. Cream City. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that was a huge help. Thank you so much. Jafers, appreciate that. Also, Phil, you started as associate planner from corporate planning to local government next month. Anything you should do to prep? Well, first of all, skedaddle. Congratulations on the new job. Yeah. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is to learn the local history. So when I went from, so my background, I became a planner in a suburb, and I didn't know a lot about it before I worked there. And I took the first, I don't know, I'd say the first couple of months just to get to know people. Like, I sat down with every single counselor or every single city councilor, and I just met with them in my cube. They were all nice enough to just get to know me. I got to know their priorities and what they were into. I drove around the community a lot. Like a lot. Because I wanted to know all the streets. I wanted to memorize where things were so that when someone would talk to me, I would have an idea of where they are. So just take some time to review maps, familiarize yourself with the city, controversial projects, major employers, different things that are going to be important to the community. Like, ultimately, you need to understand people's priorities. That's going to be your biggest hurdle up front, is that a lot of people already have priorities and you have no idea what they are. So figure that out and you'll be in a good spot. And then be willing to listen to people. Don't make assumptions. Remember, you're the guy who doesn't know anything, and you have ideas, but they don't matter right now. That shouldn't be too hard. It's a city of 6,000 people in rural Oregon. Oh, so in a rural community. So the community that I worked in was rapidly growing. But it was rural in the not so distant past. And there were people who still remembered the community when it was small. And there was a lot of, there was kind of an old guard, and learn who those folks are. They're a wealth of knowledge. I know it's easy to dismiss the old timers. It's easy to do that, but you shouldn't. They know a lot. And honestly, most of the time they want to still be involved. There was a former mayor that I spoke with quite a bit. He ended up being on a bunch of committees and different things. Just wanted to be involved. Bucks and Six, heck yeah. And apparently for me, Golden State Warriors 2022 for my fantasy team is going to be amazing. Skedaddle, yep, you just started growing very rapidly, hence the hiring. I think that we worked in the same time, or you're about to work in the same kind of community that I did. And there's going to be you're going to interact with a lot of very sad people about their community changing. And just, okay, the big thing as a planner, you have to have empathy. Like, there are going to be a lot of people who are just very sad that their community is changing. It's not the community that they thought that they were getting or going to be in, and you just have empathy. I mean, there was a gentleman I vividly recall there being, oh, guys, thank you for the hype train. Please give me nothing, give the charity everything. But I missed a lot of activity. Anthony Beta, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner. Matt Rash, thank you for becoming a mayor over on YouTube. That's amazing. Thank you. Alex Hansen, thank you for becoming thank you for the prime. Ricky Lee, thank you so much for becoming associate planner. Grungy Potato, thank you for the super chat. ICPP checking in from your hospital. Your second son was born. Love the videos. Been watching since your first son was born 3 years ago. You're awesome. Thanks. Congratulations. Everyone, can we give Grungy Potato a congratulations? Like, that's amazing. Just congratulations. That's awesome. Hopefully get some sleep. that's gonna be your battle for the next little while. Doc, thank you so much for 11 months of tier 1. Can't believe it's almost a year. Little Zook, thank you for the prime. Grumpy Jamps, thank you so much for the prime. Squirter Tennybriz, thank you for 3 months of tier 1. Who is Greg? Thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Sleep is for the weak. Skedaddle, I agree. I don't sleep. And I certainly didn't when my daughters were born. The anarchy, yeah, that was ridiculous. This looks like I didn't make it. Although I will tell you, Chad, I am disturbed. I feel like this should be further over. But because I got so lucky with making this look so good so quickly, I'm going to probably just leave it. But I think you guys are probably seeing it too. Just a little bit further down would get it away from this road, and that would be a huge improvement. But to be fair, nothing is perfect in real life. Exactly. You love when someone donates and their name is something absurd, and poor CPP has to try to read it out loud without laughing. I mean, who TF is Greg is a pretty amazing name. Nathaniel, thank you for becoming an associate planner. Hopefully tomorrow, for anyone who became a planner of some sort, I'm hoping that tomorrow there is the next Ultimate Beginner's Guide up for you guys. We will see. And then we'll do Magnolia County after that. I have like the next 3 Magnolia counties already sketched out in my head. And I almost I almost took us to Magnolia County tonight. Give me a second. Speaking of it, I wonder if I have the zonable highway. There it is. Let's use that. Yeah, I almost decided to go there and just detail a whole bunch. But I don't know. I don't know. It felt like I shouldn't. Felt like we should spend some time here. I'm gonna keep Anarchy on and be a bad guy and just run this through areas we don't own to save myself the headache. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the power lines. Why does it look slightly off square? Because I think it is. But we're not gonna worry about that. It's just fine. You would hate waiting behind these trains. I think it's gonna be better now. I just need to make sure that we've got power running all the way here. So I think this line, let's double check. Yeah, this line has power. What is going on? It's connected there. It should be running all the way back here. Oh, the joy of anarchy. There we go. Okay, so now the trains, I think they deployed for the passenger rail. So we're good. Now we just need to link up, and I regret deleting this line because I think it would work now if it would have left it. So, Ace, thank you for being here. Most of the time, depots have a dedicated power line. Are you thinking that like I should have a transformer just for that? Phil, what's fine? The Master Dork, thank you for being here. We're just chilling. We're chilling. We're having a charity stream. Yeah, we are raising money for Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina, which is helping out in Asheville. And we're having a beer and just chilling out. We need unwalkable, tightly packed suburbs. I mean, I feel like that's where we're going in Magnolia County eventually. I'll tell you what, though. We have an election coming up soon. And I'm going to need... I mean, you guys are going to need to make some decisions. I'm excited to see who you're going to vote for Paradise Bay Mayor. That is... I think that the choice that you guys make will have an influence on how the city's developed. And I haven't talked about the mayor at all, the current mayor, because we didn't have artwork, but now we do, so we're good. I'd quote someone earlier, very aerodynamic. My hair, yeah, I did get a haircut. I cut my hair so much that I have basically none left, and I feel it feels so good. My hair gets so warm, and I know it's getting cold, but I spend most of my time in this room, and this is like the warmest place on the planet. And this is after I banish my PC out of this room. It's still ridiculously warm, and I can't do anything about it. And I could come at that with a sledgehammer as well, but it just feels wrong. Sheila, let's see. Hold on. I won't. I'll try not to. I'll try to be a good guy and not show everyone my Discord messages. So we've got a new character, the current mayor of Paradise Bay. You're gonna have to figure out whether you like the current mayor or Sheila. We'll have to figure that out. No windows. What do you mean no windows? Oh yeah, I have windows. Here's the thing, guys. It's one thing if I'm gaming by myself and I'm like being quiet and I can like, you know, throw some headphones on and like, then it's super chill. But most of the time I'm talking to myself. So it's very awkward when my mini split. So everyone keeps telling me to get a mini split. It's super awkward though if I'm just like talking to myself and my neighbor happens to be by the window and hears me, you know, laughing and having a great time playing a game, talking to myself. I'm trying to avoid that life. I love my neighbor. I've known him for years. He actually moved in well after we knew each other. So I feel very fortunate to have my neighbor. I don't want to creep him out. Oh, whoa. Enjoy. I don't want to creep him out. And he knows what I do. He's known for a long time. But I don't want to creep him out. Just drag it. Get that thing out of here. Joke's on your neighbor. You hate them so you don't care. You know, that's what I need. So I'd say at my old house, I liked my neighbors just fine. I didn't really know them all that well. One of my neighbors moved to Florida during the pandemic. They inherited a house and they just bounced. And my other neighbor, we were friendly enough that we would like chat about random things when we saw each other, and I'd take his garbage out if he weren't home. But that was kind of the extent of our get together. He actually had a roommate. He owned the house, and he had a roommate. And I thought, like when I first moved in, I thought that his roommate, I guess I thought that he lived there too and was an owner of the place as well, and he was not. And I hit it off with him, and then I felt really bad for years because I hit it off with his roommate, and then his roommate moved out, and then it was just kind of awkward. Kind of like how I'm moving all of this now and making this awkward. I should have left it, and I'm going to end up just deleting this whole segment and starting over. Lumberjack vibes. You'll always support Sheila. Yeah, we definitely got lumberjack vibes for this dude. He's very upper Midwestern. Just delete the old one and redraw it. It's not. You don't think it's forgivable? It's probably not. Okay. There we go. We're just going to call that good. So that will work for us. You saw the new album go up on Masterplan Music. Any plans on the other songs releasing soon, like the Sheila Shake? Yeah. I thought it was up today. I think it'll be up shortly. So I put the Sheila Shake out there on the Masterplan Music channel. Hold on, let me see. I'll see if it's been released. It's called Cranberry, the album. Yeah, it's not out yet. It should be out in the next like 12 hours. It should be out in the next 12 hours. And then I have another album. I have another. Honestly, I've got 3 albums worth of material that I need to release, and then I'm working on a holiday album right now as well. So like, there's a lot. I've fallen really, really far behind on a lot of things, because that's what I do. So I will tell you. Actually, I will tell you some of my sadness. I recently, I mentioned that I'm working on the Ultimate Beginner's Guide for the next video. I recorded a good chunk of the video on silent, and I didn't realize that I was muted. So my editor reached out and he's like, "Hey, So in these segments of the video, you're muted. So I ended up re-recording most of the video, which has been a huge bummer and got me behind on a lot of different things. So I have I actually worked on it. I mentioned to you guys that I had a video. I'm guessing you guys are going to hate that. Dang it. I've been working on a video going over my server rebuild. And I just need to, there's a lot of things like that I have like 75% of the way done. Matthew, I work with a couple of producers, but there's one that I've been working with for the most part. I do not create the music myself. No, I have hired someone, and for most of them, it'll be like 4 or 5. We like the same types of music. We click and we just keep going. Every time he finishes an album, I hire him for another one, and I'll just keep doing it. And as long as he will continue to make music, because I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed putting it together with him. He doesn't get offended when I iterate with him. Just a super cool guy. Really enjoyed him. Make the curve bigger. I could. I'm trying again not to disrupt the existing one. I feel like we're almost there. And I haven't seen B. Skleigelhausen. Might have just missed him. But he would be the one telling me for sure that I'm failing. This is terrible. This is just terrible. Oh my goodness. Giant train. Roundabout would do the trick. Not with the super long trains. So this would likely be timed. There would probably be 3 signals timed together. And we don't have the ability to do that right now. Otherwise, I like the radii. I think the radii is really good. This isn't good, but it does happen. In downtown Madison, actually, we have this kind of a situation, and it happens religiously during rush hour, where they will just block East Washington, which is one of the main roads in the Isthmus, for 10 minutes. And it's brutal. Just brutal. Nothing you can do about it either. The train company's able to do what the train company's going to do. Oh, I really want this to work. I really want this to work. I want to move on from it. I'm going to call that acceptable. We're going to watch this for a second and see if anything despawns. If anything despawns, I will keep iterating. But as long as we're not despawning, it's these super long trains. So it's going to despawn. I think that this route is supposed to go that way afterwards. Hold on. Yeah. Unless it's going to turn around. We'll follow it. Maybe it'll come back here. That's a terrible movement. The only way to fix it would be to relocate this further this way, which we could do. I mean, that is... yeah, it despawned. Dang it. Dang it. Put in a really long turnaround. So, do we put in a turnaround? Or do we just move this thing? Like, just reasonably. If I take this and I put this over here, then it has enough room to turn around at the station itself. Well, here okay. Thought experiment with me. Because we can. I'm just going to clone this thing. And this is bad. Don't worry. We're not going to keep this. But now I should be able to grab... I'll grab this and I'll put this through here. Let's make sure no stops here, no stops. So I think now they should have everything that they need to be able to turn around. And this is the problem. Look at. Now it's not despawning. It's actually turning around at this station. Oh, it did despawn. Amazing. Okay. Hold on. We're going all the way. We're going all the way. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's super ugly. I will fix this if it actually works. And then I clean up that road. We completely change this. We had that paralleling. Doesn't really need to be. That works. That works, guys. That works. Oh, that's frustrating too. That is going to do the trick. What's the problem? When it was too close, it couldn't reverse. So the solution here would have been to either have two different trains, but we don't have enough trains for that because we use their medium train depot. This has a max of 6 trains. So to have 2 separate routes, we'd have probably had, 2-3 trains per route, and then we run out of trains because of our passenger rail. So we basically had to move this back. Now the train's able to turn around. And so it basically comes in this way, picks up, drops off, and then backs out and goes the other way. And that's the movement that we were struggling with. And it was all because we have these super long cargo trains, which, it despawned again. Oh. You guys mentioned the turnaround. It just feels wrong. When is the next Ultimate Beginner's Guide coming? Deadbent? It's the next video that's coming out. I've been working on it. I've been working on it too long. It's a big one though. Like I think it's ridiculously big. Oh, B. Squagelhausen. Curve is fine. Sorry, move stream to TV. That's okay. Hopefully it's a more relaxing experience on TV. You can't spell rail without pain, probably. Bien, I agree. A single track to the split? Is that the solution? Single track to... Okay. I will bite. So that would force the trains to wait further back. So that's, you're saying do something like that? And then maybe we'll like... I feel like you guys are probably yelling at me right now, but I'm not looking yet. Okay. You're doing a play along? You've been jonesing? So, Deadbent, I add so much in this next video. I think the video, there is a very real chance, and I absolutely hate doing this, but I think that there's a very real chance that the video is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. And if it is, I'm just going to tell you guys up front, I just don't think I want to redo it again. I think the video is what the video is. I think it's a good video. It's just going to be 1 hour and 15 minutes long if it has to be. So we will see. I'm waiting to hear the damage from my editor tomorrow. I expect it to be bad. I realized I took on way too big of a project, and A lot of times when I take on a project that's way too big, I will redo it. Redo the whole episode, but I've already redone the whole episode and I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. So yeah, longer the better. I feel like, so there's a couple of reasons why I don't want to go over an hour. First, I got access to this AI translator tool. And there's a lot of places where I think AI is fairly unethical. I think the AI translator tool is not one of those ways. So basically, it allows me to click a button and it'll convert the video into Spanish and Portuguese. And it's not a perfect translation, but it's in my voice, and it opens up the audience. And I know that there's a lot of folks in Brazil who watch the channel, and if this makes it easier to watch, I think it's amazing. And the feature is going to be expanding to other languages soon as well. But if your video is over an hour long, it can't be translated. So yeah, that's the big problem. It can't be translated. And I think that for a lot of people, if the video is over an hour, they're just like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not into that. I'm not like that. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I'm curious about you guys. I'm gonna poll both of you, both YouTube and Twitch. Will you watch a video that is over 60 minutes long? Yes or no? Will you watch a video over 60 minutes long? Yes or no? No channel points, no cheating. Just tell me what you think. I'm curious. Yes, multiple times. That is how I know you're lying. Although, you know what? You might not be. I'm still absolutely dumbfounded that so many people watch that Manor Lord supercut. To this day, it is like, when I look at the top videos in the last like 48 hours on my channel, it is the first Tiny Glade video, not the most recent one. That one, and then the number 3 video is the Manor Lord's 4-hour long video. 10,000 people watched it in the last 2 days, which I don't understand. AI translators probably watch in a single. It's essentially Star Trek Universal Translator. I agree. Let's see. Twitch says yes, and YouTube says yes. Your Twitch says 90% yes. YouTube says 91%. I guess I'm gonna believe you, and I will not. So I will tell you guys, if it gets even close to an hour, I start to viciously and savagely trim the videos down. I'll re-record audio, do whatever it takes to get it underneath an hour. Like, it's like a thing. I spend a lot of time on it. There's something about those Tiny Glade videos. They slow down your heart. The last one, I will be honest with you guys. I really enjoy putting the last one together. It's probably the last one I'm gonna make too. I think I use it as a test because I was really curious. I'm asking the wrong people, Phil. You know how long we're watching right now? Yeah, that's a good point. That is actually a really good point. You guys, YouTube has not been seeing it this long, but I've been streaming for 3 hours now. And I will for a while longer. And you guys are going to be here with, because you're okay with long viewing sessions. To be clear, the viewers that watch streams are probably predisposed to watching more long form content. I think you're right about that. You would trust my watch time over a poll? So as much as I hate this, it feels like it's retention editing, which I'm not a huge fan of. When I when I significantly edit videos, the watch time does go way up. Way up. I mean, like, average of like 14 minutes to an average of like 21 minutes. So it's one of the reasons why I decided to spend more time focusing on quality over having a set release schedule, because I like the videos more, and it seems like you guys do as well. So it's, I mean, that was a thing that I thought about. 1 hour Tiny Glade would be well watched well, you assume? I don't think so. I don't think so. So the first Tiny Glade video that I put out is like still like there's a lot of interest. I guess I'm realizing more and more now that there's a lot of desire on the channel for me to showcase new games that I think are interesting. But there's a big difference between a showcase and making something into a series. And that's the part that I struggle with. I'll tell you, it's been the exact same situation with, so Tiny Glade, Workers and Resources, Transport Fever, they will all garner a lot of interest initially. And I think it's because people want to see how I play it or see what the game's about. So I'm learning that is kind of what I need to do. Live in that lane, which I think is a good place to be. I appreciate the variety because it honestly just, sometimes I just need to play a different game. You know what I mean? Any news on playing Planet Coaster 2? I have not been able to reach out to people. My manager reached out. I have reached out. I mean, at this point, I'm probably just going to buy it at release and play it and just see how it goes. And that's fine. I don't really, I wish I could do it early, but it doesn't seem like it's in the cards. So yeah. Watching me play Transport Fever was amazing though. I think it's a stream game for me. And I keep talking about this, but what I really want to do is have more streams that are shorter at more regular times. So I would love for this time to be a weekly thing, or a couple of times a week thing, but like maybe like 2.5, 3 hours instead of 5. So we'll see. Most that come to watch because you can't play the game, so you're just here to watch. The Master Dark. Hopefully you can play at some point. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. Timberborn. I tell you what, I was not settled on what to do tonight, and I really want to play Timberborn with the new update, like in some format that we can play together. And it was like real close. Almost played that on stream tonight. But the main reason why I didn't was the charity stream. And actually, the other thing that came up was Kodiak mentioned it'd be really cool if we could do Satisfactory tonight. He thought that when I mentioned that, we could play Satisfactory, but with the charity stream, I thought it probably made more sense not to do a different game. Just so we have as many eyeballs here as possible to potentially raise money for the charity. But it's on my mind. We'll do it. We'll get back to it at some point. If not, I really want to have another kind of a short run series where I just kind of plan on doing 6 videos of something and have a very clear goal. And I've thought about it being either Manor Lords or Timberborn, one of the two. CP plays Pong. What's going on, Joe? We were dealing with a lot of rail issues here, and we've resolved those for the most part. We ended up moving our rail yard way over here, We ended up moving our lumberyard station over here, and now the trains are no longer despawning, and it seems like everything's good. So that's what we've done so far. And now I'm redeveloping the area where our lumberyard used to be, and we have a strong demand for offices and all the residentials. And we're starting to get more demand for industrial. Curious about our unemployment rate. It's pretty low, so probably just build a little bit more residential, lower density stuff as we get further away from the core. Yeah. Timberborn is having a unique take on city management games. I completely agree. Timberborn is so fun. If you guys have not played it, it is a really special game. It is addicting. Watch out. Crazy that you were live on Twitch a few hours before YouTube. Viewer count is higher right now than Twitch's. Seems like a missed opportunity for more viewers. The reason why is it was a sponsored stream. I feel like so first of all, viewership is always higher on YouTube than on Twitch. Like always higher. Right now there's about 1,000 people live on YouTube and a little under 400 on Twitch. And that's constant. No matter when I go on, if I go on during the day, do an EU friendly time, there'll be 2,000 people on YouTube and 1,000 on Twitch. It's always like that. But I feel like I didn't want there to be a VOD of a game like the one that I was playing on YouTube. So it specifically meant a lot to me to not have that one on there. So people just like, and especially hindsight being 2020, with how poorly the last video was received. I don't want to make a habit of releasing videos that people don't like. And that goes for streams as well, you know? So it's always something I'm thinking about. So it's a weird thing. 5 a.m. So it's totally EU friendly. You're a morning person. I'm a night person. So I hear 5 a.m. and if I'm awake at 5 a.m., I'm furious. Demetrios, what's going on? We are we're building a little bit here in Bayport, Michigan. We got a small town going on it's not Lake Michigan, Lake Huron. Yeah, you get up at 4:30 for your day job. Oof, it's way too early for me. It's on at 10 a.m. for you Aussies. It's the perfect time for you guys. That's honestly. So as much as I like the building and brews part, the beer, Australian friendly times. I know that there are a lot of you that watch. I want to maintain a time that works for you guys. And I would imagine that kind of stinks for folks in Australia. A lot of people who you might watch, it's just the exact opposite time. It's kind of like when I was working with $2.20, getting his map put on the Thunder store back in the day. I mean, our time zones were just completely different. So makes it tough. Makes it real tough. What's up, just joined? Hey, Sparky, we're just playing some City Skylines 2. Hanging out. You Aussies will be at work. Well, apparently you guys aren't degenerates like all of us Americans who are completely thrilled to, watch Twitch at work. We have zero problem with that. What was I playing on Twitch? It was a demo of a game called Overthrown. It's a multiplayer chaotic city builder. And it was very interesting. I mean, I played with Kodiak the Kodiak and Canadian Moose, two guys that I got to hang out with a month ago in Finland that I absolutely adore. Just two great dudes. So it was fun. Definitely a different kind of game. It's first person, which is different for me. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. Good time. What is not a good time is this zoning right now. It'll be the death of me. It's slowly trying to make me cry, and I will get there. I will get there. You're watching the Dodger game while playing this on your phone. How are the Dodgers doing? Dodgers are one of the few baseball teams I've ever gone to a game for. It was when I worked at the talent agency in Beverly Hills a trillion years ago. They had it was a seat right behind home plate, and they would let us whenever there was a game that no one wanted to see, they would let us underlings have a chance at tickets. And I won one time, and I wasn't even a Dodger fan. I was just like, yeah, I want to check that stadium out. That's going to be super cool. And if there's anything that will ever make you a sports fan, the live in-person experience of a team, just something special, something real special. This is the Dodgers' year for sure. I thought it was the Brewers' year, but that didn't work out. Born to zone, forced to plop. Exactly. My lore is insane. Okay. T7 Gaming. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I hope it's a good thing, because I enjoy it. I will admit that, like, it's a lot. Worked at a talent agency, worked at Apple, lived in LA. Oh my, well. So, I mean, the talent agency, the reason I worked there is I worked at the Apple store, and I couldn't afford to live. So it was when gas in California was, what was it? Almost $5 a gallon. I lived in a place called Encino, and I had to drive to Glendale. And, it didn't seem like it was that far. I made I don't know, $14 an hour, which at the time seemed like a lot of money to me. And it seemed like I should be able to get by as long as I had hours. And the Apple store was so hit or miss with my hours. So one week I would get 40 hours and I would just kill it. I'd sell a whole bunch of computers and iPods. And the next week they would give me 4 hours because they didn't want to give me insurance. And this is before you had to have insurance. So like, I was like, okay, well, I don't have insurance. I'm 24. I'll be just fine. And anyway, so it made it impossible for me to pay rent. Like, just terrible. So yeah, one day this lady comes in the store, and she's, I don't know, maybe like 50-ish. And she just kind of looks familiar. She just kind of seems like a lot of ladies that you meet in Wisconsin. Like what your friend's mom, and she's struggling with her computer, and she's asking for a bit of help. And I give her very personalized help. And we get to talking, and she says, your accent, you're from Wisconsin. And I kind of laugh because most people thought I was from Canada when I was in California. And I was like, you actually know? And she's like, yeah, I'm from Wapaka. And I was like, I went to Stevens Point. So like we hit it off over talking about that stuff. And then she asked for more help, and she was like, well, my husband he's a sound engineer. He works at a movie studio. Could you help him out with his computer? We'll pay you. And I was like, well, sure. So I ended up going to their house, which was in like this crazy area. God, what was it called? It was near Silver Lake, maybe Mount Washington, something like that. Oh, I'm sorry. There's an ad. I'll take a break. Ad break. I'm seeing it. I see it. I see the ad. You're missing this. You're not missing the story. I stopped. They can't hear me anyway. I'm talking into the void. Hot Dog City Map Gaming. Good morning. Okay, I get 20 seconds. In the meantime, Very Dud, thank you so much for the tier 1. Oh my god, please, more Timberborn. You eat that up. You watch Hours of Biff as an RCE series. I want to make sure I'm adding to it. I want to do something different if I do it. So I gotta watch theirs and get better. Yeah, but obviously the viewers here are of a much higher quality. OG Picklehead, thank you so much for the tier 1. You guys are high quality. I agree. Jumpercraft, thank you for becoming associate planner. Jumpercraft, thank you for the super chat as well. Should you be a channel member? You don't like monthly payments though? Only if you want to. I try to give you early access to videos. Kum Flamas, thank you so much for the biddies. One question. I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'll get to that in a second. I'll finish up the story. So I went to their house in Mount Washington, and I walk in, and this dude has Emmys like everywhere. Like he's got a shelf above his iMac with just like 30 Emmys, and I'd never seen one of these things. And they've got this parrot, and their parrot's just like constantly talking. And I'm working on their computer, and it's like really benign stuff. Yeah, it's like got like 30 Emmys. And I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I do sound design for movies. And like, you know, like if it's a good movie, like you just get an Emmy. You know, like if the movie gets an Emmy, like you're part of the sound design. If the sound design wins an award, you get an Emmy. And over the course of his career, he'd won many of them. So did the parrot have a Wisconsin accent? Well, no, this guy was not from Wisconsin, but I helped out. And I helped out this lady, and they were super cool. Like had me over for dinner, and it was the first time in LA, because this is right after I moved there, that I felt like I had kind of like I don't want to be this guy. It's kind of like a Wisconsin experience, you know, like this the hospitality that I had missed from home. And as we were talking over dinner, she says, oh, hey, do you like working at the Apple store? Because we have this opportunity in our mailroom at our talent agency. And if you want, the guy who does all the hiring there, he's from the Wisconsin Dells. I'm sure he'd hire you. He loves hiring Wisconsinites. And I asked her, I was like, do I get insurance? And she was like, well, of course. Like, do I get dental? Yes, of course. You get a retirement fund. It was a pay cut, and it was much further away. But I ended up taking the job. I had no interest in working at a talent agency, but when a bunch of Wisconsinites invite you to interview and you can get dental and healthcare, you'll go for it. So I worked there for a while. And the guy that hired me was a fascinating human being. He I can't even get into his story because you guys wouldn't believe me. But needless to say, he was in the NFL. I'll give a little bit. He was in the NFL, and then he worked at a talent agency for years. And he was a Wisconsinite, and we just like. He and I just like, he was an older gentleman. At that point, I think he must have been like 75. And he just reminded me of home. And I just loved him. So I took the job, worked there for many 2 years. being basically someone who, if you've ever watched Entourage, I ended up becoming Lloyd. I would go to the grocery store in Beverly Hills and get bagels for all the agents, and I'd have to cut them and give them cream cheese. I had to go through people's headshots and like send them out on bike couriers around town. And then one of the more interesting things is it's how I first started editing in Final Cut, because they had a Mac computer there. And everything at that point in time was Final Cut. So I would take demo reels for different actors, and I would edit them in Final Cut. I even went to a couple actors' homes and like helped them with that there. That's kind of that's where the first time I edited. And it's probably why to this day I still use Final Cut. So yeah, it was interesting. Ended up leaving it because I didn't like that line of work, but I still like a lot of the people that I worked with. And when the YouTube channel took off, I actually reached out to the agent I worked for advice about negotiation for brand deals and stuff like that. So, you know, it all comes around. And it also ties into my planning career, because I didn't know that urban planning was a thing until I was driving from Encino to Beverly Hills every day. And it made me wonder why there wasn't housing, because there are a lot of people in Beverly Hills that don't make any money. And it made me wonder why why there's not housing there. So yeah, it was wild. It was wild. T7 Gaming, you take that back. Final Cut is not the worst. Final Cut is the finest editing software that just doesn't receive updates. I will tell you what, if I had to use Premiere, I wouldn't be doing this. Like I would have quit. I was using Premiere forever. The first 20 Bluffside Crossing, the first 20 Verde Beaches were all Premiere, and I thought about quitting every video. I hated it so much. How did I get into city planning? So I would sit in traffic every day. It was an hour each way to get from Encino. Hold on. We've got to, well, you guys got me. So Encino, it's in the San Fernando Valley, and I had to go from Encino to Beverly Hills. So this is the trip I took every day. So I would go down Ventura Boulevard or down the 101, down the 405, get trapped in this absolute nightmare of a highway. And you just wait and wait and wait and wait while there are motorcycles going on the side of you, and people are screaming at each other and honking and just whatever. And then I would go down, I'd go through Westwood. Is this Santa Monica? I wouldn't normally take that route. I would normally go down, I want to say it was Santa Monica. Maybe it was Wilshire, one of the two. And I go through Century City. Anyway, I go all the way through here until I got to Beverly Hills. And I was on Beverly Boulevard at the time. So this trip is 13 miles. It should take you 28 minutes. This is the actual trip I would take right here. 27 minutes. It was an hour every time, no matter when I left. I ended up moving over here in this area. It's actually, my apartment was like right over here, and it would take me 30 minutes to get over here. It was just like everything took an hour. I ended up getting a job when I lived in Encino. I got a job over in Woodland Hills, and it would sometimes take me an hour to get to work. You visit friends, it takes an hour. You go to the Glendale Galleria, it takes you an hour. Everything took an hour, and it just made me think, like, why is LA planned so poorly? Like, it's super easy to get around. Like, I learned how to navigate through the entire city in like 3 months, because if you learn the main roads, you can get anywhere. But the whole place is totally inaccessible because it's just crushed with traffic, and no one lives by where they work. No one lives by the places that they shop at. No one lives near, their friends. No one lives by anything. Everyone lives an hour from anything interesting. And it doesn't matter if you live in the most interesting place in the world. I mean, I lived right by the beach, and I still had to travel an hour to get to everything. And that question, why are different land uses that should be closer together so far apart? That is what got me into planning. It made me research it. I would get home and I'd play SimCity 4, and recreate LA and try to do a better job making it. And then I started researching the streetcar controversy in LA, and that got me into planning. And I just I fell down the rabbit hole. And then at the time, I decided I'll just go to I'll just look for a school that has an undergrad program in planning. And there were, so I had a couple of options. It was either Northridge, Cal State Northridge, which I lived close to. There was a certificate program at UCLA, which wouldn't have been good enough. And then way out here in Pomona, can't remember exactly where it is. Way out in the middle of nowhere. Somewhere out here. Cal Poly Pomona. I looked out there and they had a program that was like adjacent to planning. So I started doing a lot of research about planning programs. I also drove up to where the guy from City Beautiful, who's also from Wisconsin, where he teaches. And I looked at San Luis Obispo. And I just realized that I could never afford to live here. So that is the reason why I didn't go there. So yeah, that was it. That was it. You graduated from CSUN? CSUN? I loved CSUN. I thought it was super underrated as a university. I thought it was I absolutely, like, I get that it's not a super prestigious school. But sorry about that. But I met a lot of really great people there, a lot of people who became practicing planners. I met as many people at Northridge that became planners as grad school. I know a lot of people went to grad school with me that never actually ended up working in the field. So yeah. You get better education at lesser known schools. I felt like I met a lot of instructors that, I mean, to this day, like the head of the program, he's the former head now. I could reach out to him. His name, Dr. Kent. I could reach out to that guy and he would personally email me back. Even after I moved to Wisconsin, I was asking, and I never graduated from CSUN. I couldn't. And I told him actually how ridiculous I thought it was. They had a requirement that you have an internship, and all because of that, like, I looked for internships like at Pasadena, Glendale, and they were all unpaid because they could get away with it. Because it was a requirement for CSUN. And I assume UCLA as well. And maybe even USC to have that internship. So yeah, definitely sucked. But because of that, I could never graduate from CSUN. It would have never worked because I could not get an internship and it was a requirement. And there's just no way that I could work. It had to be 20 hours a week for a semester. There's no way that I could have given 20 hours a week for free. Like, I was already working 40. There was no way it was happening. Or at least I wasn't going to let it happen. Like, I wasn't going to spend that kind of time. Just, no. I'm not going to give my time away for free like that. Santa Clara is good for urban planning internships. Or Santa Clarita. I wish I would have known that. I did not realize that. Santa Clarita though, man, that's another place. So Santa Clarita is going to mention. So when I lived in Encino, CSUN is like right over here, and Santa Clarita is on the other side of the mountains. But you get pinched in this area, and traffic is insane here as well. And there are fires. And when I was in Northridge, there were a ton of fires, like a ridiculous number. There were times where school was canceled. I worked at 2K Games by CSUN, and there were multiple days where work was canceled because of fires. So, yeah, I don't know. You did a 2-year class, worked full time, took a toll, up for 6 a.m. school, and not home until, yeah. So Achilles, I did that for grad school. I had my internship. I got one of the few paid internships. It was amazing. But the really cool thing is that because I had that internship, I had my 1 year of experience right away. And in my second year of grad school, which is, I only had to take grad school for a year and a half because I was a planning undergrad. In my second year, I was offered a job at a consulting firm. So I worked 40 hours a week while I was going to grad school. Man, if you're going to grad school, do not do that to yourself. Like, it was great to be able to pay for some of it, but man, terrible, terrible, terrible. Unpaid internships should be illegal. I'm with you. It's not right. It's not right at all. I don't like, it was one of the reasons why, like, there were times where I was asked, you know, like, do you need an intern? And the question I would have is, do we have any money for that intern? And then the second question is, do we have work that they need to do? Because like internships actually, you should take time to put them together so that the intern gains something, not just experience. So yeah, there were many times where could have had an intern, didn't have an intern because didn't want to pay, couldn't pay, didn't have work for the intern, different things like that. Unpaid internships as a system are just slavery with extra steps. I mean, okay. I'm going to get off my unpaid internship soapbox for a second and say that there is a place for unpaid internships so long as there is no expectation of the intern. My problem with an unpaid internship is when you start to ask the intern to do things. If it's an unpaid internship, that's basically job shadowing. It's what it should be anyway. It's fine if you want a job shadow. I encourage that. Like, planning is such a strange career that I think, you know, so many people think that planning is one thing and it is something totally different. And the number of people that have been, you know, shocked by that I've known, that I've gone to school with, super sad. The last thing you want to do is spend that much money and that much time going into a profession that you don't like. So if it can be a situation where you're shadowing, fine. But oftentimes those internships are not shadowing. They are legitimate jobs that just you don't get paid to do. And that's garbage. That's not right. Not right at all. You will do unpaid intern for $100 an hour. I mean, listen, if you find an unpaid internship for $100 an hour, I will join you. I will right alongside of you. I will intern with you. I'm game. You find me that internship and we'll do it together. People should always be paid for their labor unless it's volunteering. So I think that's the thing, is a lot of people will say, well, an internship is volunteering. And what you benefit is the experience you get from the internship. Like, there are many volunteer opportunities that you couldn't call a job, but an internship, it'll qualify as a job. That's a difference of opinion. I personally think that that's not right, but I've known a number of people who disagree with that. Is it really voluntary? Many degrees require them? No, so that is something that I am very curious about. You know, for the folks that are just entering the job for the workforce right now, is that requirement still a thing where you have that year of experience? Because, I mean, I don't want to say poor millennials, but also, like, I do. the number of opportunities that are just like, that were just like, yeah, like, you need to have a year of experience, or you know, like, whatever. Entry level requires a bachelor's degree and a year of experience. Well, like, how do you get that unless you intern? It felt like and I think it oftentimes functioned as a gate to keep new people out of the jobs and keep older people in the jobs. Because, you know, having a degree, like the only way to get around it was to get a master's degree. Like, for planning, that was like, I remember interviewing with a guy who had his associate's degree. And he was like, well, you know, like, normally for a planner, we require a master's. I was like, well, why? well, why? Like, you don't have one, and it seems like you have the job just fine. Like, and this is when I was young and dumb and just, like, asked that question unabashedly. And he said, it's just the requirement now. Field has changed. More competition. Wild. Absolutely ridiculous. Just the play anyways. I did a lot of that. And then I realized, so the quantity over quality thing, especially in planning, once I wised up, I didn't apply to as many jobs. I only applied to jobs I actually wanted, and I put together a completely tailored application for those jobs. I put together a portfolio. I'd have maps in there. I'd have different writing samples. I would go all out. And when I started doing that, every single job I ever applied to, a planning job, after I started putting together a portfolio, I at least got an interview, and I got an opportunity to at least meet the people and let them decide whether I was worth hiring or not. So I actually disagree. Don't just apply. Don't spam your application. Like, as someone who's been on many hiring panels, like, it's super easy to tell who wants the job and who doesn't based upon whether or not they actually tailored their materials to the position that they're applying for. Super, super obvious. Pretty sure entry-level requirements are BS just to keep applicants lower now. Been hired for many jobs that you didn't qualify for. I mean, to the credit of my former employer, they actually went through and they had me do different studies of positions to see if the education and experience requirements actually made sense. So we would sit down in a group of people and actually say, like, how does this degree benefit you? And we have to justify rather than asking. We basically have to say, like, what does that degree give you that makes it a necessity for you to have that degree for the job? And how much experience would actually be comparable to that degree? And there were a lot of jobs that we looked at. We're like, you don't need you don't need that degree. What you really need is, a set of experiences that you could get through a degree. But you don't need the degree. And asking for it is making a lot of people who would otherwise be qualified unable to apply. You hate it when employers hire inexperienced people and don't train them, though? Well, sure. I think, yeah. No, I completely agree. There's a lot of that going around and has gone around. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I feel like a lot of employers just feel like, or for a while, we're in a situation where they didn't have to worry about hiring people or training people because there were enough applicants out there that could do the job that they just, why bother training anybody, like reasonably. And then in government anyway, just from that experience, there were a lot of times where I picked up a job where, because it took so long to hire somebody because of the way that government jobs work, the person who had the experience and expertise to train me quit, and they couldn't replace him for 6 months. So as a result, there is no one to train me. So, like, can I really be upset with the employer for their inability to train me because no one knows the job? Like it's bad for everybody. Yep, you need to tailor your resume to include their buzzwords so the computer doesn't throw out the resume. That is a very good point too. With cover letters in particular, it's kind of, you got to kind of mirror what the application says, and you need to explain, like, if you're applying for a job. Okay, hold on. So let's say I go to government jobs, so I don't want to apply at Madison. Oh wait, I'll just do general. Governmentjobs.com. Planner. Auburn, Washington. They got a planner job. If I were writing, let me see if I can make this any bigger. If I were applying to this job, why? This is terrible. Okay, here's better. I would go down this, and I like these terms are bolded. Works effectively under pressure. I need to talk about that in the cover letter. Hi, my name is Philip. I am a motivated planner that is looking to work in a community just like yours. I'm the type of person who works effectively under pressure, even if there are frequent interruptions. I complete my work and projects in a thorough and timely manner every time. I'm the type of person who follows directions from my supervisors. I always follow posted work rules and procedures, and I'm competent to write them myself as well. I've also had experience preparing written reports, maintaining electronic records of inspections, reviews, and other documents. I go through that, and I'm just, what they want, they're saying, and in your cover letter, you just say the exact same thing back to them. That's like, that's the thing. And the number of times I wouldn't see that, and I know it's so stupid. It's so stupid. But it is what it is. And that you could say that you're excited to have a job where you get to review development applications, where you get to serve as a frontline planning staff member, where, you know, like that, like that's the deal. Like, yeah. Is it exciting? No. Does it get you an interview every single time? I guarantee it. Fight fire with fire and have your cover letter written by AI. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Kodiak the Kodiak, thank you for the raid. Appreciate you, buddy. We're talking cover letters. But to get me to apply for a job tonight in Washington. How was the rest of the stream? What'd you guys do, Kodiak? I will stop talking cover letters. Although I am very I like to nerd out about that sort of thing. I could talk about it all night. Apply? You want me to stop doing this and I can apply for a job in Auburn, Washington? Make my family move? I'm sure it's lovely. Come to Seattle. I love it there. I did some planning work in Seattle. I loved it. My day in Seattle, my couple of days, was right downtown. Lovely. Wonderful. Went to McCormick and Smick for dinner with some folks. Rode the train around. Rode the bus around. I restructured. I created some of the restructurings of the bus routes when BRT was implemented. So yeah, that was my experience there. It's fun. Liked it. It was a very, very interesting experience, especially for someone who was very early in their career. Huge bush ring. I'm into that. Although it kind of looks stupid the more I think about it. I used to do this all the time. How many times do you see rings of bushes like that? Infrequently. It's such a nice tool to use. You've always dreamed of working at Checks Notes. Engineers get visas, yeah. Blue Squid, thank you for being here. Did you have a good time in Kodiak's stream? Demetrius, yeah, it was super informative. Unfortunately, you have an exam at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Have a good night. Enjoy the detailing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Us urbanists are currently criticizing the new Seattle zoning maps released yesterday, so that's a thing. You're gonna send me down the rabbit hole, because I'm like doing like very minute detailing after this. Shouldn't. You guys don't care about this right now, but I'm gonna. Seattle zoning code. Comprehensive plan less ambitious than Bellevue. Oh, it's the comprehensive plan update. I wonder. Mayor's office edited to preserve the status quo. That always happens. I wonder. I'm guessing. I'm not speaking from a place of knowledge, but I'm wondering if you guys didn't get rid of your single family zoning. Low risk of displacement, high risk of displacement. Displacement, and I'm not sure what that means. I'm looking for the zoning map. That's what I really care about. Because if they release a comprehensive plan that basically has a whole bunch of single family zoning, it's gonna upset people. I mean, this looks pretty run of the mill, the kind of graphs that you kind of expect to see in basically every plan. City plans for 4-plex townhomes rather than 6-plexes. I mean, this to me seems like a fine thing to have, and there are examples of what you want. Huh. I wonder if they're going for a certain form. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but I find this stuff interesting. Yeah, normally when people are upset, it's because it's either too ambitious or not ambitious enough. I mean, in Madison, there's a lot of advocacy about whether or not single family zoning should exist at all. Link for me? Hold on. Yay, redlining. Yeah, no. Hold on. Average zing. I gave you 60 seconds to post a link. It was it was completely hidden from me. I couldn't see it. You should drop that one more time. Didn't work. That's amazing. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know how to, short of making you a moderator. I don't know. Oh, you're making me do Twitter. You're making me, I don't go to that website, man. Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, hold on. Oh, it's gonna make me sign in. No. Oh, wait. Propose zoning map. Okay, thank you. We got through it. Neighborhood residential is going to be single family for sure. And that's a lot of single family homes. So that is probably what upset people. I would have to see the definition. They have a code amendment. Give me 1 second. We'll go back to City Skylines. I'm super curious now. Okay. So neighborhood residential. Yeah, it's a single family home. So that's probably what upset people. So you're looking at a 5,000 square foot lot. So for neighborhood residential 3, 5,000 square foot lot to a 9,000 square foot lot, almost 10,000. That's a quarter acre lot in an urban environment. I mean, that just doesn't make sense in the core of a major city. Like a single family home on a quarter acre lot, like that causes really expensive homes, and that causes housing shortages when it's a place with a lot of demand. So people are probably upset because that's still a major component. You can see that, like, there's like a little spots where they've highlighted, like, oh, we've got a little neighborhood right here with a bit of density, but for the most part, it's a lot of single family homes. Not quite, since HB 1110 requires you to allow more homes per NR lot. So that must be similar to what they've done in Minnesota. It's still. So I think the reason why people get upset by that stuff is it still ends up like there's a big difference between having something by right and then allowing it through a convoluted process. You know, that was one of the things. Now, I know that there was a lot of criticism here in Madison when it was up to 10 units by right in a specific zoning code. But okay. You want to see something funny? Let's see if I can show you the number of zoning districts, and of course it's not going to work. Amazing. Check my speeds real quick. I'm getting nervous now. Huh. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. So you can have the most progressive zoning code in the world. But if you have, like, look at all these colors. What you're seeing when you see all of these different colors are different zoning districts, all of which have their own regulations and their own rules. And you could choose one district and say, okay, let me see if I can. So there's the TOD overlay that increases the density allowable in those areas. But the zoning districts, it just kind of goes on forever. Cities should never do this. This is like, I love Madison. I love Madison. I love my city. This is ridiculous. To have this many different zoning categories, because it means that you can say, okay, we allow 10 units by right in SRC2. And then you find out that there's actually no SRC2 in the city. So this is the kind of madness that planning can devolve into, where I would venture to guess that many of these zoning districts were created in reaction to things that were already built there, rather than a plan and a desire for a certain area. You know, like some of these areas, I mean, like when you see little carve outs like this, like why is this little area, these two buildings, why do they get TRC3? You know, like that's reactionary right there. Whatever. Vote Phil the next mayor. No one wants to hear this stuff. This is like minutia. I just thought it was someone's birthday though. Hold on. Josh Cruz on YouTube. Happy birthday. Hopefully you're having a good day or night. You've never really known what to do as a career, but over the last year, you've grown increasingly interested in planning. Is it a difficult career path to get into? What sort of tips or advice? It is more difficult to get into than engineering. There are more engineering jobs. It's gotten easier over the last little while as people have retired. And that was a big thing. If you want to get into it, biggest piece of advice I can give you is to talk to a planner. We're very friendly people. And then the other thing is, the biggest piece of advice I will give you is go to a planning school in the place that you want to live. much regret that I didn't go. Like, I love my experience in Denver. Denver's an amazing city, and I love my planning school, all the people I went to school with. Such a missed opportunity to go to. I could not find a job in Milwaukee. Like, I couldn't even get an interview at the couple of jobs I applied at. And that is the other kind of the dark side of planning, because it's so small and because there are so few schools. In many cases, the alumni networks are very helpful. In Colorado, I think it's difficult to get in if you haven't gone to planning school in Colorado, or you don't have a boatload of experience, for instance. But if you've gone to school there, it's a lot easier. So that's one of the bigger pieces of advice I give you. Go to school where you want to go, where you want to work. See you, Denver, what? Indeed. See you, Denver. Absolutely love it. Great school. Wonderful. Loved it. Is Madison cheap to live? You're sick of playing 4K for your studio every single month? I mean, relative to 4K, yeah, it's super cheap. But Madison's the most expensive place in Wisconsin. So, like, I'll be honest. It has been over the years, it's been very tempting to look at other cities that the cost of living is a lot cheaper in and go there. I mean, one that my wife and I really seriously considered. Someone mentioned that they were from Wausau tonight. I grew up in Wausau, kind of. My mom lived in Wausau, and I went to elementary school in Wausau for a little while. But I could have had a Frank Lloyd Wright, like a legitimate Frank Lloyd Wright home, for the cost of my home in Madison, my starter home that I had here. And it would have been an absolutely beautiful house, one of a kind. But that's it's a different situation. Is the rent the same in Wausau as in Madison? No, it's like for Wausau, I'm guessing you're gonna pay like $800 a month at that very top end. But I think if you wanted, you could find a place for probably like $600-700 a month. In Madison, I had a 1-bedroom. I mean, I haven't rented in a long time, first of all. So any numbers I give you are going to be based on new units or the one that I had a decade ago. But my apartment was $1,000 for a 1-bedroom. And I would imagine that now that's $1,500 or more. Yeah. I mean, it's gotten really, 2-bedroom is 15 and 16. Okay. Yeah. Wausau is much more expensive than that. Has it gotten a lot more expensive recently? You pay $14 in Middleton for a 1-bed. That's, yeah. I mean, it's much more expensive. You're going to school currently for city and regional planning at OSU. Nice. Rent in a tiny town is like $700 a month. So I have heard, my family's in Rhinelander. I have a lot of family. I have a lot of family in both Wausau and Rhinelander. And I've heard from people in Rhinelander that rent has gotten out of control, because there's so few rental units. Basically nothing new getting built, and a lot of people who want to be there. And then during the pandemic, and I don't know if it's like this for you in your small town, there were a lot of people who moved there because they could, because of, work from home and whatnot. You can charge $2,600 a month for your house. $2,200 a month for a 1-bedroom in SLO. St. Louis. $2,200 a month for a 1-bedroom in St. Louis. That's wild. Your sister was one of those people who moved to Wausau during the pandemic. So here's how close I got to moving to Wausau during the pandemic. My wife and I booked a hotel room, and like we had a realtor. Like we were very close. Okay. As I get sidetracked again. Hold on. So here is Wassa. And let's just look for a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house. Is this house super exciting? Nope. Could you raise a family in it? Absolutely. And when interest rates were 3%, let's see. Let's say you put down almost nothing. You put down 5%, which is not very much for a house. And then we had a 3% interest rate at the time. Our monthly payment would have been, $1,400 a month in Wassa, which it is a nice little town. It's a nice little community. It's got a ski hill. It's absolutely beautiful. The downtown's lovely. Super cheap. You went to high school with that realtor? That's amazing. So yeah, my wife and I looked seriously at this, and then we start to look at our house in Madison, what it's worth, and you could buy a very nice house in Wassa, around this part of town. There are a lot of that this is probably an apartment. A place like this that maybe you need to restore it back to come on, man. I think I just saw a kitchen with carpet in it. Maybe this is a duplex, could be converted back to a single family home. But the front was super cute, and you could do something with that. It has good bones. Looks like it was a conversion into an office or something. Lots of places like that there at a reasonable price that have been listed for a long time. So we get very close, but ultimately it's really difficult when you've lived in a place for a decade to just leave all your friends behind and make your kids change schools. It's a lot. And I was afraid of starting over, if I'm being totally honest with you. It's tough. You want those prices nationwide? I mean, I think just reasonably. Hold on. I'm gonna. You guys are gonna keep sidetracking me. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's a beautiful little town. Just a beautiful little town. This is the 400 block. They have concerts there. There's the Grand Theater right downtown. I actually got married right there in that building. There's a lot of water. Nice little skyline. A lot of activity. There's chalk. Chalk events. So there's a lot going on in these little places that I think that people don't realize is happening. So when you can find a place like that, you don't necessarily need to live in the biggest city in the world. You could be just close to one, or even a couple hours from one, depending on how often you actually take advantage of the amenities in those cities. So yeah, you don't think we'll see sub 3% rates again? If we got to 4%, that would be wild. I don't know. I agree. I don't think we'll ever see 3%, at least not for a long time. You live in a nice house, but in an area that you don't feel home in. You seriously consider upgrading or downgrading just to live in a better community. I mean, that's the whole, location argument. I do think there's something to be said for that. I don't live right downtown, but I live in an area where I can walk to everything I want to do. And I think that's really important. Being close to things. I have a lot of friends in the area. The ability to walk to a grocery store, get to a library on a bike, little stuff like that. It matters. It really matters. Where you live, a 3-bedroom won't go for under 9,000 Australian or 600,000 USD. I mean, hold on. It's not far off from that here. Like, there are places, I mean, if I were to say the exact same parameters, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, you start to see that, like, 300 maybe, like, over here. But the places where people really want to live, like, if you wanted to live on the isthmus under those parameters, $500,000, and maybe that's not even a very nice house. So it's like that all over the place. It really sucks. I mean, I blame a lot of it on interest rates. Also, aging in place is wonderful, but it also means that there is less housing stock available. And even for folks that don't want to age in place, they want to move somewhere else. In many cases, it's just they wouldn't get enough value, so they could sell their home and then not have a place to buy. So why would you sell your home to become a starter home for someone else if you couldn't afford to buy a place after you sell it? It's just, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the housing market. How is it so cheap in Wisconsin? Is the average pay lower compared to other states? No. I mean, in Madison, the pay is really good. I think it comes down to desirability. A lot of people in Wisconsin, a lot of people think Wisconsin's super cold. Man, it gets real cold. But it's tolerable. There wouldn't be 6 million people here if it were a complete desolate wasteland of ice. And then I think that there are sexier places close by. I live, a little less than 2 hours from Chicago. A lot of people would prefer to live in Chicago for all the amenities that it has. Chicago is a city that's big enough that it has its own accent, its own types of food. A lot of people would prefer that than a place like Madison or even Milwaukee, which they would consider an inferior version of Chicago. And in some ways it is. Lack of transit. And in other ways, I think it's a much better city. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. And even like to northern Wisconsin, like a lot of people that I grew up with, they moved to the Twin Cities or Duluth or, a place like that just we've had a little bit more going on. That's a common thing. You hit the like button for the sake of engagement. I appreciate you. Malcolus, appreciate you. Under 60 is cold. Here's the thing. You might not realize this. You might not know this. Humans can exist in places that are cold. Some of those places are very nice. And honestly, cold weather, it's not that bad. I kind of like it. First of all, if you're a fan of video games, you should be a fan of cold weather. Because I'll tell you what, I get months out of the year where no one gives me any guff about wanting to stay inside and play video games because it's cold out. There's also activities outside. There's, you could do skiing, snowshoeing. You can just go for a brisk walk and hear that there's a sound that the snow makes when you walk on it when it's really cold outside, and it's just special. Vainglorious, you love cold weather. Summer and I are not on speaking terms. I mean, where you're at, man. Whew. But I feel like I have that exact same experience now too. It stinks. I'm so ready for fall. Here in Michigan, you don't need more than shorts till it's 40. I agree. Once it gets to 40 here too. It's go time. It's shorts time. You miss living just outside of Vancouver. Get a few weeks of cold every year just to enjoy the snow. Then it warms right back up. It sounds like Denver. I did like that about it. Did really like that about Denver. Snow gives you PTSD cries in Texas power grid. Okay, Jericho, that is totally different. That is different. That is different. Bit lazy. You're from Syracuse and live in Charlotte. Miss distinct seasons. Don't miss the snow. I keep hearing, so I'm saying all these really positive things about snow right now. I keep hearing that we're going to have an absolutely brutal winter. So maybe I'll change my tune. And you guys I'll come on a stream in like, I don't know, January, and I'll just be like, I'm so done. I'm moving to Florida. I don't care. Denver's had a warm spell. Denver always has warm spells. Denver is the warmest city that people think is cold. And don't get me wrong, it gets cold there, but it is much nicer than people realize most of the time. Love the snow, Chloe Bells. I wish that I loved the snow. I tolerate the snow for everything else. I mainly hate shoveling. I grew up with lake effect snow. So anyone who's dealt with lake effect snow, if you know, you know. It's brutal. Basically, we would get snow every single day off the lake, and it was like half a foot. You just have to deal with it. Calgary has the most inconsistent weather pattern. So Calgary has the exact same weather pattern as Denver. It's the exact same. So you get a blizzard in May, and you get 70 in the middle of, or room temperature 22 in like February, and it's beautiful. Haven't had any really decent winters in the last few years though. Yeah, we had like 2 weeks of bitterly cold with a little bit of snow. And we got dumped down for a while. It's amazing. You love how fast the snow disappears in Denver? I completely agree, BH. I've missed a whole bunch of activity again. I'm going to take just a quick second. Ty Balls, thank you so much for the Prime. Von Mouseskill, thank you for the Prime. Malibu, thank you so much. Malibu the Cat, thank you for the tier 1. As someone currently working for a company you used to work for in the past, I feel you. Currently stuck in San Francisco trying to move out. Have a great stream. Oh, Malibu. I know exactly where you work. I liked it there. It was painful to leave. It was very painful to leave. Like my coworkers, I wonder. I don't know if you worked there when I worked there. I had to go to the Bay Area. I went there for like half a week to go to the main office. I wonder if we cross paths. Tybot, ads be gone. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate you. And for anyone who's given over in the charity stream, I do not know how to sort and see it, but I want to thank you all. Appreciate it. Volume up for me. My volume is up. I can boost it up a little bit. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do, Pete Andrews. I haven't heard other people saying that. You gotta say you're looking forward to getting CS2 the next time it's on sale. Looks like a lot of bugs have been ironed out, and the custom road tool looks awesome. A lot of bugs have been ironed out. The game's a lot more fun. There's also a lot of bugs still in the game. And then there's just some things that I think feel like bugs that I don't think are bugs. One of them is like traffic patterns. Like, I do feel like, okay. I don't know if you guys feel the same way as I do about this, but I feel like fixing traffic in Cities Skylines 1 was more gratifying than it is in Cities Skylines 2. And that all comes down to the whole time of day thing that we have in this game. So basically, like, I don't know if I can fudge it. Okay. The only way that you really get a feel for this is to have the day-night visuals on. We get that flash. It's actually 3 a.m. right now, so it makes sense that there's literally no traffic anywhere. However, that doesn't make fixing traffic very fun. You know, like right now it's just like it feels like there's nothing. And then we'll get those two waves. The wave that we'll get, you know, when everyone goes to work, and the wave when everyone goes home, the two peak periods. But it just, yeah, it's one of those things where like that's probably my big criticism. I wish that I could disable that so I could feel the traffic patterns. But I think the game's in a much better spot. I enjoy it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, there wasn't a rush hour in CS1. Yeah, I feel like you should be able to toggle it. Like I just kind of want it to always, like, if you want to play classic Biffa, I feel like you should be able to, and just like let it always be rush hour, so you can always feel that crush of traffic. Everyone's always trying to go to work. Can you donate to the charity link on YouTube? I have first Necron, thank you. I think you can donate there. There's the charity link. Yeah. First Necron, thank you so much for giving me that link. I don't know if you're here still or not, but thank you for giving me the link to the charity. I'll pin that on YouTube. I apologize for not doing that earlier. So yeah, that's your donation. 100% of the money goes to the food bank. So you would play way more CS2 if you didn't lose a full day and night to playing just one more tweak when you boot it up. I will be upfront with you. That's the whole reason I have not played Satisfactory. I've heard so many people tell me that Satisfactory is my kind of game, and I'm afraid that I will lose my life to it. I don't know if you guys are big Satisfactory people or not. I assume that many of you are. I will. Yeah, I don't even think I don't even know that I've launched it. Maybe once. It's not telling me my time, so I'm going to say no, I have not launched it. So, yeah. I'm afraid. You lost friends of Satisfactory and Factorio. Now you avoid them now. Satisfactory made 8 hours of your life disappear. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've got to be careful with games like that. That's like Civ for me. Do it. I mean, that's one of the, like, with Stream Together set up, there's a very, very real possibility that like Kodiak, Moose, and I just get together and have a multiplayer game. I told Kodiak, and okay, you guys let me know if you agree with this or not. So I asked Kodiak, I said, don't you think that maybe, because we talked about doing it tonight, and I said, don't you think that maybe I should play the game a little bit first just to know the controls before just diving in head first? And he said no, even though he's been playing it on stream like every day. What do you guys think? Nah? Playing Satisfactory and listening to you? Civilization is where you learn one more turn is extremely dangerous. It is. Nah, controls are really intuitive. Oh, go in blind. You should actually, the intro tutorial does not work in multiplayer last time you checked. Do I need to do the tutorial? Or do you think being with someone who is well versed in the game is good enough? I think that's the real question there. How do you donate? Bit lazy. There's a link underneath the stream box where you can, it's a direct donation link. Satisfactory is simple enough if you ignore the math. Can I ignore the math? I went to planning school because I wanted to ignore the math. And somehow I got tricked into doing math anyway. And then I ended up taking engineering coursework, which I was not supposed to do. The building system is Moss Chef's Kiss. It's simple. It's easy math. All right. All right. All right. I will, I'll talk to Kodiak, and maybe for the next night stream, we do, multiplayer, Satisfactory. The only thing I feel bad about is if I do multiplayer, he streams way more often than I do. But maybe that's okay. I can 100% ignore the math, but I won't. We got him, chat. I mean, listen. If there's anything that I've learned in my time as a YouTuber and streamer, it is that I do my best when I listen to you guys. Nobody cares what I want to watch. Like, that's a guide. But I'm doing this thinking of you guys. So if you guys want to see it, if you guys agree that I can do it and it's not going to be painful for you, then I say, why not? I think it sounds like fun. I have to play it. Multiplayer will not impact anyone. We're not playing, you just sit down somewhere. Oh, interesting. I need a fourth for that. Vangloris, for sure. For sure. Do you have Vangloris, do you have Stream Together set up? Because if you do, we're already friends on Steam, I believe. That's the other requirement. And if we're not, you can join when you get to the channel point redemption. And I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding about that. Oh no. Didn't see anything, folks. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. I just wanted to let you know that you love watching my videos. Thank you so much, Grim. Appreciate that. Finally back, got the kids to bed, and finished up some work. CS2 time. Poplar Ponderosa, I'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. I don't know how old your kids are. Mine are at an age now where, like, they like me to be there, but they're totally cool if I'm not. My wife has been reading Harry Potter to them every night, and they've all been kind of just like passing out on my bed. So I go in there afterwards to pick up the pieces, make sure that everyone is asleep. I fully assume that after the stream, I will go to my room, and both of my daughters will be asleep in my bed with my wife, and Harry Potter will be somewhere nearby. That's the world that we're living in right now. I think they're on book 4 at this point. Have it on Epic, but as long as Steam and Epic are linked, should be fine. Okay. Timberborn stream when? I mean, maybe that's the poll. Maybe that's the poll. Timberborn or Satisfactory. Satisfactory. I will be upfront. Like, I know I didn't chat with you guys all that much while I was streaming with you know, Kodiak and Moose. Hopefully that was okay. It's really difficult to be able to multitask like that. So that's the other calculation for you guys. But I'll put up a poll in a second. As I go house by house, just boring the absolute bejesus out of you guys. Sorry about that, guys. Poll time. It is poll time. What is the required right-of-way offset? For the rail, it could be almost nothing. It depends. Chat was super quiet. I noticed that. There were a couple folks that were like really saying a lot, and then a lot that were not saying anything. Okay, quick poll. What to stream outside of CS2? Timberborn, Satisfactory. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna ask both platforms. I'll give you guys 3 minutes on Twitch since it's going to take me a while to type it into YouTube. What game other than CS2 would you like to see on stream? Timberborn, Satisfactory. Okay, there you go. And let's see. Satisfactory's winning on Twitch, although I didn't let you guys use channel points, so the numbers are really low. I like it. Planet Coaster. I'm probably gonna do a Planet Coaster video, and then maybe it'll be like City Bus Manager, where we do a stream afterwards for one stream or something. Dad's Play 2. Just got in bed to relax and found I'm still on. You DJ'd a party tonight for a rehearsal dinner and a wedding, and it was a blast. Hey, that sounds like fun. No option for both. Here's the thing. I oftentimes will give more options than I should and then regret it afterwards. So I'm making you guys make a decision under advisement. That's what I really want. And you guys are normally very different, Twitch and YouTube. You guys are like, either it's the same people going and voting in both, or there's just like some weird mental stuff going on, and you guys are actually the same. 67% satisfactory on Twitch, 64. It was 64, now it's 63 on YouTube. It's impressive. I'll end the YouTube when Twitch is done. Twitches could change. You may have 2 votes. Counter-Strike 2. You know? I think after seeing, if you were around for the early part of the stream, you will know that I struggle in games where I have to have hand-eye coordination. That's probably where I'll screw up in Satisfactory. I used to play a lot of sports games way back in the day when I lived around the guys, and I don't anymore, so I don't play them. I used to play a lot of shooting games as well, and now I don't. I don't play any of those. So I feel like I'm terrible at any game like that. So that would be a struggle with Satisfactory in particular. It'll be interesting though. You're committing fraud and voting in both polls. I support that. Manor Lords, I'm going to do a video on. It's going to be a video series. I don't know when it's going to be. Like I keep planning out all my video. I have every single video planned out through the end of November. And I really wanted to have Manor Lords be a part of that. And it just didn't fit. And part of it is I'm forcing myself to complete videos that I've wanted to work on that I keep putting off because I'm afraid to make the video because I respect the topic too much. So yeah, mainly SimCity. You love the content? I appreciate that, Sunken Stew. Appreciate that. Satisfactory is so freeform. You love it for the decoration aspect, but you can go all in on any part. That's good to hear. How about building in Sims 4? You mean just the Sims, because there is no more Sims beyond that one. I don't know, man. It's intimidating. Like I put out that second Tiny Glade video, and since the first one, the amount of talent that has come and played the game and made things way beyond what I could do. Like, I don't know why you would watch me play The Sims 4. There are so many people who are much better at it, much more creative. So I don't think I would ever play that on stream personally. Thanks for the stream. Not very saintly. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Is Tiny Glade just another sandbox game? It is, yeah. I think people have rightly pointed out Tiny Glade isn't really a game. It's more of it's just kind of it is a place where you can be artistic more than anything. It is basically an artist's canvas more than anything. I think you can make that a strong case for that. It's a medium. Yeah, Poplar Ponderosa. It's a medium. It's a painter. Yeah, it's very good at that. But I feel like there's a certain kind of person that is exceptional at that. I just enjoy it. I feel like a lot of people are probably in that boat where it's a super enjoyable game to it's a super enjoyable medium to just chill out and let off a little bit of artistic steam, so to speak. Bit lazy. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you. Thank you. Kind of feels like the same vibe I'm getting while learning how to use Blender and you experiment with different tools. I could see that, Loopy Luke. I could definitely see that being the vibe you get from it. Definitely. What do I think of vanilla CS2? Is it quite as good as CS1 yet? I mean, I made a video a while ago where I compared vanilla CS1 original to vanilla CS2 original. It is a much better game than that. Vanilla CS1 though, I mean, the current state of it is a very mature game that you don't have to worry about your mods breaking anymore. The biggest thing you've got to worry about is someone removing their assets or their mod. But it's a very mature game. And if you're happy with that game at this point in time, it's a great game. I mean, it's had so much happen over a decade. I personally think that the bones are there for this to be a better game. And I personally enjoy playing this one more. But it is very subjective and there are many issues with this game. And I understand why anyone would not be happy with this one. I also understand that like PC compute hardware power word salad I just gave you matters because for some people it's just not going to work well on your machine. And I mean I built a ridiculously overpowered rig. When I built my machine, my goal was to build a PC that would be excellent for having a ton of assets. And I'm you know, it's I've needed every last bit of that compute power just for the game itself. So yeah. Drink of the night tonight has been a cherry Schoof Belgian beer. It's very good. I'm not drinking all that much of it. It's 8%, so I've been going slow. $709, you love the simulation of this game more than CS1? I don't know that I could say that myself. I think that it's getting there. I think my problem with the simulation in CS2 is it doesn't show you everything just yet. And I don't like that at all. Like, I feel like it's absolute craziness when it's just not showing you some of the simulation. I mean, example of that is like, I have to have a mod to see how many homeless people are in my city. I feel like that should just be there and there should be a way to solve that. But there are other aspects of it that I agree. There's some really great aspects of the simulation in this game as well. It's tough. There are things that are definitively better and things that are absolutely worse. So off topic, but you found one of your visual pet peeves in CS2 is the amount of color variety in the cars. It seems like they share the same white, black, gray, silver vehicles. They should be much higher than it is right now. It's funny that you mentioned that. I'm gonna stop in Bayport. And I'll share it right away. This made me think about something. I don't know if it's still there. We'll look. But I'll get this thing uploaded. There we go. If you wanna play with Bayport, we didn't build a lot today, but we built some rail and we prettied a couple things up. But let's go back into Magnolia County for a second. I'm not gonna save it. Actually, I had the wrong playset, so I can't save anything. So we'll just look around for a second and then chat. Bayport like the real one in the thumbnail? Yeah. So let me see. So there was like at one point the cars had an absolute rainbow right here, and I could not like absolutely crazy why it was like it was a rainbow. It was a literal rainbow. All the colors were right in a row. Made zero sense. I mean the cars are pretty boring, but I feel like especially after living in LA for a while, where everyone had a luxury car that was either white or black, I kind of get it. A lot of cars are pretty boring. A lot like vibrant colors don't exactly exist. I mean, I've had a lot of white and black cars myself. No trucks. Are there trucks? Are there no trucks in this game? I thought that there were. Huh. Have I tried the new Control C? I have not. There are two mods I needed. I didn't know that the new Control C is out, first of all, so I'll need to check that out. The other one is Anarchy has been updated, and I have not tried out. Like I'm still working on my version that doesn't have all of the key wall updates. So yeah. God, you want boring, realistic car spawn sets so much? I would like to see fewer Harleys and smart cars. There are way too many Harleys and smart cars. But I think you know. Here's one of the things about this game that I get, like, it's hard to deny that like this looks a million times better than the vehicles in CS1. I mean, it's not even comparable. Whenever I hear someone say, "Oh, CS1 looks better," like, no, it doesn't. Like, no, this looks way better. Like, there are many issues. It's mostly variety and bugs, but it looks way better. If the blue car was silver and also 65% traffic, that's accurate. I hate the way the cars do it. It just did right there. It just like whipped around the corner. That's a critique of this game, I think. A big one. Whoa. Friends, you see this? That's a pickup truck. We do have a pickup truck, and honestly, it looks pretty good. It's a weird color for a pickup truck. It looks good. Also don't know where it's going. But yeah, looks pretty good. Definitely a Silverado. I will be honest, I have never owned a truck. I will probably never own a truck. Don't know a lot about them. That seems legit. I like small vehicles if I'm gonna drive. Silverado with a Nissan cab and a Dodge bed. That's how you don't get sued. You mix three vehicles together. The driving in this game is insane. It is. Between the shaky cars and then just like really, I mean, it seems like they all accelerate around corners. You hate huge trucks like this? If I were to get a truck, it'd be like the Maverick, which I think is like a legit, like, it feels like it could be an everyday driver and provide a great deal of utility. I mean, I have an SUV. I will, like, it's a small SUV, but it's an SUV nonetheless. I've had cars mostly, but with a family, I hate it. It's what I have. I don't drive very often though, so whatever. CS1 cars are dull in terms of metal sheen. I think it was yeah, B. Squigglehausen and I have talked about that, and that's like one thing that this game nails is the metal sheen. Like it doesn't exist in CS1. And I know B. Squigglehausen, if he's still watching, is on for sure on TV and can't respond to that. But like that's one of the things that I think this game is much better about is the metal sheen. Just in general, things not feeling like flat, lifeless textures. Although you get stuff like that. Which, it's much more jarring when everything looks really good to see things that look really bad. I mean, that's why the people are so jarring, because like you end up with these cars that look outstanding and there's not a lot of variety, but the ones that you have are great. And then you see this crazy person with 6 dogs just like all walking through, or this truck deciding I'm driving to the park and ride where there are just a bunch of vehicles colliding into one another. Perfect. Everything looks like plastic in CS1. I mean, it's the tech for the time, you know? No bikes, everyone gets a dog. Oh, nothing could be more legitimate than this. As someone with an EV now, you roll up and you're getting iced. Someone's got their Silverado parked in the EV charging. Perfect. Accurate simulation right there. Yes, perfect. Let's see. We'll take a couple more trips through town. Is there anything that you guys just wanted to? Whoa! Oh, we have the water features mod. We're flooding because of it. That's amazing. Are there any tours that you guys have wanted to see in town? We'll just hop on a train or a bus. Ford Lightning. Oh, Poplar Ponderosa. That's true. That's true. It could be the Ford Lightning. Train, please. The first thing I saw. We'll do it. We'll do it. Oh my goodness. Everything is flooding. Just ignore all the floods. Everything's breaking down because we have the wrong mod set on. Let's see. We'll wait here until we see a train. And then we'll slow it down. The one thing I have to do, I know I have to do. I think it's muted now, so you guys won't hear the crazy loud train as we get close to it. What causes the floods? The water features mod. So right now, hold on, I'll show you real quick. If you have the water features mod and you enable seasonal streams and snowmelt, you will absolutely have flooding. We also played with the evaporation rate. I think if I reset everything here, because I was trying to flood out the other map. I just wanted to see what it would do. That should fix everything for us. So go into that mod. If you have that mod in your mod set, that's your problem. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh lordy, you need legit retention ponds and flooded zones to be free from. Yeah, so DJ, with that mod, reasonably you would need to have retention ponds. So yeah, I mean that's like if you want to play that way, that mod enables it. And I mean, Yang Yang is an absolute genius for putting that together. Got an ad? All right, I'll pause it so we don't go anywhere. K-Sids, thank you so much for the tier 1. Hey, it's Osrius. Thank you so much for the prime. Hal Galley, thank you so much for the super chat. In CS1, you workshopped a railroad interchange, freeway stack style. 2 of them handled all intercity rail traffic for a 1 million population city. Is CS2 easier for rail? I think CS2 handles rail a lot better. It's a much better tool to use. I don't know. I think you'd have a lot easier time putting it together. Put it that way. All the pedestrians, they are. I heard that this is easy to fix. I just have to delete it and replace it or something like that. But I haven't gotten around to it. Part of the reason is I will destroy this bridge, and I love the way this all looks, minus that. The other one in Paradise Bay is the exact same way as well. Ad break is done. Let's roll. Let's roll. Yeah, the people are sunk into the ground. You're half man, or at least you used to be. Do I think CS2 is worth getting into now that it's been updated? I think if you already own it, then yes. If you have Game Pass, then give it a shot. If you don't, if you buy it, make sure you download some cities right away and see if you can play a larger city. Good day, CPP. What am I drinking tonight? I am drinking. It is a cherry choof. It's a Danish beer. It's very good. It's very good. I've enjoyed it. Oh. Okay. Ooh, there it is. There it is. That's what we're drinking tonight. That's what we're drinking. It's very good. Is it warm? Yeah, it is warm. Absolutely is warm. Also, this is one of those beers that I think has gotten better the warmer it's gotten. It is very fruity. It doesn't taste like beer. It's delicious. I understand why the guy at the store got so excited to see that these are back in stock. I kind of wish that we were well, we're gonna make a lot of changes. Episode 40 of Magnolia County is gonna be a Mulligan episode, and one thing I really want to do is switch out all the rail. We don't really have electrified rail in the US, but for light rail. So I want to, now that Tigon has those rail assets that remove the cantilevers and everything, I'm gonna replace everything throughout the entire county. It looks so much better. You love those? Can someone type the name of the beer? You're gonna look. So it's at Costco. It's at Costco right now. That's how my wife found it. I actually had her go. My buddy found Finnish long drink at Costco, and when I had the beer share, he had it and I didn't realize it. And then he told me he got it at Costco, so I asked her to get me long drink at Costco. And Le Chouffe, it's their flagship. That's I think you're asking about this one. Oh, I've got the wrong scene up. So yeah, I have that one. That was actually one of them I could have had tonight. The Chouffe. Never had it. It's right here. So looking forward to it. I got 4 total. So yeah. Can I explain how or why some of my videos on YouTube have little to none or a ton of ads in them? Do I have control over this? I do my ads the exact same way every single video. I will put an ad in every 7 to 10 minutes. But what I'm placing is locations where I think it would be appropriate to place an ad. And you may get served an ad every time. You may not get served an ad every time. So you might, for one person who is more disposed to not watching a video after seeing an ad, they might not receive an ad until 21 minutes in. I don't know why some people get more ads than that. I don't control it. There were many different controls that we used to have back in the day. Oh, we're gonna go through the water. Where I could control whether it was a skippable ad, whether you got a 30-second ad or a 60 or, whatever. And all those tools were removed November 2022, I think. 2022, because it was like almost 2 years ago at this point. So at this point, I only leave markers, and it's super frustrating to see those comments where people are like, every 3 minutes there's an ad. F you, CPP, you suck. I hate you. Like, I can't do anything about it. I don't know why it's happening. We're not like, the creator's not controlling it. I think some of them are YouTube experience. Yeah. Ty Balls just got YouTube Premium. It's basically unwatchable. If you're anything like me, hate commercials. And that's like, I have YouTube Premium too. So it's a lot of people, like the second longest I've been subscribed to any service is YouTube Premium. It's the very best value for me for a service. So yeah, I don't experience it. So that's the other thing. I don't know what it's like. So I apologize. The Rails flooded because of the water features mod. So yeah, do the premium trial, but you got a million ads for mine. YouTube knew I would watch your videos no matter what. I wish I understood why that happens. It's very frustrating. Like, the funny thing is, if I just post a video, YouTube will allow you to just they'll generate locations for ads, and they will literally say that every 2 minutes there can be an ad. And you'll look at the ad thing, and it's just solid all the way through, ads all the way through. And I don't know that you'd be served ads every single time, but the potential is there. So I always customize it and do it myself, but it's always different. I don't think you're not seeing what my intention is, which stinks. I don't know how to change it. Why is there a person walking? Or what are they walking to? You don't walk along the train track. Maybe they're just getting pennies crushed. You don't know. The jagged track. I know. Part of me thinks that we should have just hopped into Magnolia County tonight and done small things like that wouldn't, the Mulligan episode is definitely going to have this area fixed. This is where we have that crazy mile long parking lot. So we'll definitely fix that. But yeah, stuff like that jagged little bit there, I don't know when I fix that. It's just weird. How can they create an algorithm for that? YouTube is constantly experimenting, with small groups of people. And so I talk monthly with someone at YouTube. I have a partner manager. I chat with him, and through that person, I've talked to people all over YouTube, different divisions in YouTube. And, I get the impression that they understand, hold on, let's make this reasonable. Because of how big YouTube is, they don't want to break anything for most people. So they will experiment on a small group of people with a variety of things. And then if it works with a small group of people, then they'll deploy it to everybody. So I do think some of the ad stuff is well, how many ads can we get this person to watch before they click away? So yeah, A/B testing. Yeah, exactly. So if you're watching my video and you've watched the last 30 videos I've posted, and I have 4 ads in the video, and it's an hour-long video, and you're willing to watch that, what happens if they put 8 ads? How much of the video will you watch? Will you watch half the video, or will you watch 60% of the video, in which case you're watching one more ad? That's a really frustrating way of looking at it, but I fully believe that that's the way it is. So yeah, I don't know. As far as the ads on YouTube though, I've told many people this, especially if a channel supporters on Patreon. Support me at the lowest rate you can on YouTube and go get YouTube Premium. You will really enjoy YouTube a lot more. It is the very best deal. Not only do you get YouTube Premium, where you get no ads anywhere on YouTube, but you will also get music. It's an excellent service. Underrated, super underrated service. Honestly, YouTube Premium is goated. It really is. YouTube Music used to super suck, and now it's really good. YouTube Premium, I don't want to watch YouTube without YouTube Premium. I don't want to watch it. I also have Twitch Turbo. I don't want to watch ads on Twitch either. And I look at that as it's my primary sources of entertainment. I'd much rather watch YouTube than, Netflix. I don't watch a lot of Netflix anymore. My wife does, otherwise I'd get rid of it. I'd rather watch YouTube. Do I ever miss my old pre-CPP life? Yes and no. It has always been a dream of mine to be involved in video games in some way. And through CPP, I get to do that. I also dreamed to be a planner, and it's that CPP is fundamentally incompatible. Like, doing this is incompatible with me also being a planner. Like, I tried it for a long time. I did my best, and I'm disappearing into the trance. I'll just do this. I tried my best. It just didn't work. You can't build internet celebrity, whatever that is, and have a public sector job. Like, it just doesn't work. So I missed that part. But I really enjoy what I do now. Like, I wake up every single day and I'm genuinely excited. I get to control everything about my day now. I get to work with a lot of amazing people and experience things like the Finland trip that I went on, and meet lots of other cool creators and hang out with all of you guys. It's just, it's really special. So I don't know, like I'm happy that I've been able to experience both things. And I understand that what I do right now is very fleeting for many people. So it could be gone tomorrow. So no, I don't think I would go back to it. I'm going to enjoy this as long as I can, I think. Didn't know I quit my job. Yeah, I quit my job a while ago. Yeah, I've said this on a couple different occasions, but who I was got out, and I felt like I was becoming a distraction. So yeah. You're fully integrated with Spotify for music? Yeah, me too. I'm a Spotify guy. Felix, need a dip? Have an interview tomorrow morning. Hey, good luck. Nail it. Nail it. How's my pension plan from my city planner days? Between my pension and Social Security, I should have like $2,500 a month if I were 62 right now and I retired. I could exist. But I'm vested in my pension. Yeah, I have a pension. It's good. Clearwater Southern strikes again. We're having Amtrak issues. You'll try very hard. Hey, I don't want to keep you awake, Felix, but what I'll tell you is, it's with interviews have always gone the best when I go in not caring. Don't just, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Good luck. Feels like riding Amtrak's all over Canada again. You get to wait for freight rail, even though you're supposed to have priority. You don't get it. Be yourself and talk about what you like. That's your plan for tomorrow. You are set. You're gonna be just fine. If that's your game plan going in, you're gonna be just fine. Okay. It's been fun riding this. Checking out the floods. Let's let's do one more ride of something, and then we'll do a little bit of GeoGuess, sir. What ride should we do? What tour? Will I ever separate passenger and cargo at any point? So maybe. Probably not. If I were to do it, what I would probably do is have light rail linking the two cities. So that would be a tram. I would turn the tram network into that link between these two cities. That's probably the route I would go. Bus? Do I have any trams? We've got trams in Paradise Bay. And we could do a long bus. Why don't we do both? We'll do a... I can't exactly remember where this one goes. Oh, this is the Berta link. This will be a good one. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully this looks as good from close up as it does far away. Hot pink bus route. It's everyone's favorite. The helicopter. I have to make helicopter noises. So it's funny. I tried to follow a helicopter recently for a city tour, and the helicopter ended up diving onto the ground and like walking across a street for a while. It was crazy. This is the party bus. I like it. I like it. You would ride the rural commuter bus if it were hot pink. I mean, that's what this is. It's a rural commuter bus, and it's hot pink. I've actually been meaning, ooh, I guess get around that ambulance. That was interesting. It rerouted. I don't know that. I mean, it's realistic to reroute the way that it did it. I don't know about that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I would like to see more road closures like that. I was really, I've not seen that happen. That was pretty cool. Oh, I didn't end the poll on YouTube, and it got to 52-48. Wow. James R., thank you so much for the gifted subs. Appreciate you. And Colin McKinney, thank you for the becoming associate planner. Evan Peterson, thank you as well. Or Patterson, thank you. Lucid Ghost Official, thank you for the prime. 2 months, need to watch more CPP streams. Oh, I agree. Hal Galley, thank you for the super chat. First, you thought I had a Yoda pop mod? Our shorties. I mean, this is really good. This is really good. Suzia, thank you so much for becoming an associate planner over on YouTube. Appreciate you. Thank you. You're in Pennsylvania. New York City is your spiritual home, though. Been there 3 times. Love it so much. I need to get there. Thank you for a very entertaining channel in the community. I appreciate that. I worry that I'm not entertaining enough sometimes. Satisfactory is the hot thing right now, but Timberborn is more mainstream for this community. I don't know about that. I think it's tough. I think it's tough. What's playing right now? The song? It's a new master plan music album that will release as soon as I name all the songs. Like, I don't like that one was called track 7 of the Daft Punk inspired album. Cranberry is great, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Poplar, this is one of the albums that I'm the most excited about. It's inspired by Thundercat and Daft Punk, which are 2 of my favorite artists. So, you are love storytelling and the graphics, Chef's Kiss. So Medora and I are working on something that should make the storytelling better. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'm really excited about it. Like we've been discussing a couple of things. I think it's gonna be really special when we're done. It's gonna be. Listen. We're going super extra. We're going super extra. It's gonna be amazing. Floodzilla. It's you know. It's not great, but it could be worse. If we were going through other parts of town right now, there's a lot of flooding with this mod. It's bad. They haven't closed roads for flooding? No, they'll drive through. They will. If we, oh, whoops. If we drove a road through the water, as long as their vehicles, I don't even think the vehicles float in this game. We'll power straight through it. Reminds you of the Isthmus a few years back. Oh my goodness. I know exactly what you're talking about. Brutal. Daft Punk Random Access Memories is one of the greatest albums of all time. Completely agree. Actually, I got invited to this Halloween party where you are supposed to dress up as your favorite album cover, and then they will play that album as part of their playlist for the Halloween party. And I've been going back and forth about whether I want to dress up as Thundercat for Dragon Ball Durag or Daft Punk, because I'd love to have both of them on the playlist. So I don't really know. Darth Frost Bite X, thank you so much for the tier 1. James, again, thank you for those 10 gifted subs. So super generous of you. Appreciate that. Anyone who got them, make sure you jump into Discord and you'll be in City Hall. I chat in there more than a couple of times a week. You could ping me in there directly and get a hold of me, and we can chat in there. So definitely do it. And you get early access to videos. So that's cool too. Glad my favorite album is not Nirvana. I mean, I used to love Nirvana when I was younger, but not anymore. I mean, I don't love them, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it spoke to me when I was younger. I saw ELO live a few weeks back in Chicago. Oh, I'd love to see ELO. I didn't realize that they were there. ELO's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Bus is so shiny, and the university is so purple. You guys got an ad? We're basically at our destination here. So I will for anyone who's seeing this in a little tiny window, we're doing the tram, and then we're gonna do a round of GeoGuessr. Although Vainglorious, I beat Brandon in the last one. Feels so weird. Like now it's not the same. It's not the same anymore, Brandon. Gotta say one thing though. When did this start happening? This is awesome. I've never seen these parking lots this full. I'm really impressed and really happy to see this, because I put all this parking here and I thought it was just a complete waste. It was more about the aesthetics, but it looks really good. I don't love this. These didn't have parking in the past, and I should replace these. Guessing that these ones now also have parking? They don't. One does. The Mulligan episode is going to be next level. We're going to do a lot. You like it? It was the second time that I beat you? Wait a minute. It happened before and you never told me? I mean, I kind of respect that. But also, you never told me? Have I picked up NBA 2K25 yet? I have not purchased NBA 2K since Giannis was on the cover. I used to love NBA 2K, and they've completely ruined it. Dude, the hype train guys, you guys are insane. Gonna Tank, thank you so much for the tier 1. DJ, thank you so much. Almost a year, that's wild. Thank you so much. Dark Rider, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. What happens if I get rid of all the parking and only have public transit? Does the game break? So I would say that that's a good video idea, but I think I know the answer. I think the game doesn't care less, reasonably. Yeah. I mean, just reasonably, I think that we could build a city of all row homes. Like, okay. While we're waiting for the tram. So let's say we build this neighborhood. 100%. Wait. There's no zoning here. Whoops. My bad. We'll maximize our density. Are we going to run out of the most beautiful connection right there? So now I'll go through and I'll remove all of the parking. And there's no transit to get here. And let's have even more fun. I believe I have a road builder road from Poplar. Doesn't allow walking. So reasonably. Oh. This area should die. It should completely die because there's no place to park and there's no way to walk here and there's no transit. So nobody should be able to exist right here, but I think it'll do just fine. I don't know how it'll function. I don't know if people will move in. Let's just see though. I bet you we'll get a crush of traffic. It'll be all taxis. They'll drop them off. I guess taxis could still make it here. That's the one thing. Everyone on bikes. Taxis will simply spawn from the outside map. Well, they drop them off, but where do they go from there? So once, like right now it's building. But like, oh, they're already there. Oh, wow. Okay, they're gonna try to get here. I don't know how they're gonna get here. Hold on, we'll follow them. Yeah, there should be these people should all, like, once they move in, short of taxis, they should be trapped. And I think this area will be just fine. We'll take it to the next level. So many reasons to be here now. So the question is, do people actually do people actually go here or not? Like they shouldn't. I think they probably do. I don't know how they get here, but I think these things will be just fine. Although there's not really a way to gauge. I can't see how many tourists are visiting. I guess if we see people walking around the outside. Walking maybe? There should be no way to walk here. The only people who could walk here are from these homes to these amenities, because this bridge, which, by the way, looks insane, it doesn't allow walking. There's no shoulder here. So no walking, just driving. But I think the taxis will probably be good enough. And that's why I think that none of it's going to matter. Like, where are you going? Like, okay, they got from a taxi in. Yeah, it's tough. Like this neighborhood should not be viable at all, but I think it's going to be just fine. Should be abandoned. And I feel like this is a critique I have of CS2. I feel like in CS1, this neighborhood would die. It would not function. And I think it'll be fine. It's going to be fine here. You don't even want to know what the ice is going to be like in the winter in the bridge. It's going to be terrible. Low wind profile. Peak engineering. I need RCE to give me a bridge rating. This is an engineering marvel. It's actually the invisible bridge. Every now and then, when you get the right angle, everything looks invisible. Beautiful. Rarely ices, but when it does, the city shuts down because of all the hills. Are you talking about Atlanta? Sounds like it to me. Is the Holy Grail there? Maybe. I don't know. Actually, there's no one here, and it doesn't seem like they're just showing up. So maybe I was being hard on the game. And I have no way to stop the taxis. There's just no way that I can stop them. So that's what this will turn into New York City. Nobody here can have a car, and everyone will use a taxi. Okay, we just solved that. That's what happens. Yeah. This is a taxi only neighborhood. Kind of interesting, actually. It's logical. It's just not what I expected. I don't know why I didn't expect this, but it makes sense. Uber Street. Take some time for the simulation to run. We're on 4 times speed, so it should take... There's a garbage truck that'll also come. But there should be no private vehicles here. There's no reason for it to come. If I add a bus line, it'll be a vibrant neighborhood. So I guess the real question, and maybe that's a one-off video idea. What happens if you only have transit and you get rid of all parking like this? Because this reasonably, if you only have medium density, and even like some of the low rent, some of the larger buildings don't have parking, I think. We'd have to be very deliberate, but I think we know the answer. I think it'll work. It just changes the vehicle that gets used. Interesting. 90 the video. I think maybe. The houses won't upgrade because they're spending so much on taxis. Oh, that actually, well, here they might. Look at everyone's upset. Oh, never mind. Content. Happy, just straight up happy. They live next to Notre Dame, of course, and the Grand Hotel. Yeah, I think it works. Can we make these roads pedestrian roads? Oh, that is. Yes. I have a small pedestrian road. Where is it? I have a small pedestrian road that doesn't allow vehicles. Oh, it's one way in and no way out. Okay, that was not the right road. I made Hotel California. That's helpful. There it is. They're still coming. They're still coming. And I swear. Yeah, no vehicles allowed on this one. They're still going to do it. Cool. No, there's yeah. Seniac is doing a series on an island. No road connections. Just ran into a problem with private cars would spawn. Well, no, I've watched Seniacs, and I thought that he had to... he did something unique because he couldn't get private cars to spawn. And he had to actually place on the edge of the map a parking lot, which drew a bunch of cars in. And then using Move It, he moved the parking lot to the island so that the island could have cars. Otherwise, it didn't have any. Yeah, I used Move It. It was wild. Yeah, there is no way to stop it. I think I even just saw a private vehicle. Yeah. Seriously? Seriously? Where are you going? Oh, there is parking here. And let me tell you, if there's any parking, a torrent of cars will come. Enjoy yourself. That's how I get rid of your car. Yeah, I might experiment with that a little bit more. That's cool. I like that. One last tour, though. We'll have our tram tour and then do a little bit of GeoGuessr. And then my brain is melted, which makes sense. Been doing this for 5.5 hours. Been good. What if it's one way? I think they don't care. I think they don't care because we had one way. Oh, they will just give up and despawn. Beautiful. They'll still come in though. No problem. So eventually maybe, oh no, there's still, look at that. Just an absolute torrent of taxis coming in and the garbage truck. They don't care that they have to despawn. They're willing to take their chances. It's fine. The game is cheating. It is cheating. Icy, good to see you, buddy. Good morning from Germany. Good morning. The bridge doesn't seem safe? Wait. You're telling me that a paper-thin road floating above the piers without any side guardrails isn't safe? I disagree. I disagree. And these taxis look like they have teeth. I think it's an optical illusion. But yeah. Oh, and now that we have this, before people couldn't walk on our dirt road, now everyone can just walk, so they won't even take the taxi anymore after a little while. Interesting. All right. One more loop around town. I have not seen the trams. I'm actually becoming a little bit concerned. Oh, there they are. There they are. Taxiland, yes. This is why you don't cul-de-sac? Indeed. We'll make it a one-way so you can't ever leave. Oh. Ooh, turn it around, turn it around. Of course, I thought we were in the right spot. I want to say that this one was a little bit shorter than the other one as well. Have a good night. Hey, Drake. Have a good night. Have a good night. Average Zing, why don't we call them trams in the US? We do. We do. Depends on the city. So some places will call them trolleys, some will call them trams, some will call them light rail, some will call them streetcar. Just depends on the place. Cable car, light rail, yeah. It all depends on the place. The US is so big, different places will call it different things. A lot of it comes down to what can you sell in your community? Like, I don't know. What can you get away with people? What can you get away with telling people it is? You got a streetcar, light rail, and commuter rail here. Are you in Denver? So it sounds like to me. So the old timers called it interurban. Oh wow, that is old timery. Oh, Portland. Oh yeah. Cable cars are pulled by cable, so that would be different technically. Sure, fair enough. Trolley tends to have kind of a historic, even touristy trap feel. True. That's kind of like a lot of the trolleys. A lot of the trolley, like I can think of, like someone mentioned Middleton earlier. Middleton here in the Madison area has a trolley, and it is a bus that is outfitted to look like a historical trolley. But yeah, it's not actually a trolley. Streetcar always sounds like an ATM machine to you. I could see that. Bring back the interurbans. They connected nearly all northeastern cities in a complex web of interurban lines. That's pretty cool. That was the proposed name. Wow. Okay. Use a trolley to work every day. They actually call it the trolley, Malibu. In Portland, you have Max, which is light rail, but you also have cable car going up the mountain. Oh. Yeah, I think a lot of those terms people just use it interchangeably, even though they're technically different. They're technically different. I mean, that's like light rail. There's a technical reason why you would call something light rail based upon what it does, the gauge of the tracks, whether it's electrified or not. But I mean, people just use the terms interchangeably. And a lot of times, I feel like a lot of it comes down to marketing too. So, all right, folks, I think we're going to do one round of GeoGuessr, and then I'm going to sleep because it seems like a rational thing to do at this time of night for me. But thanks for this. We've got just kind of a chill stream, which has been nice for me. Hopefully it was good for you. I know it's a little different than normal. We got less accomplished, but it's felt good. To me anyway. Chirper, yeah, I was out of so in the stream, the first part of the stream, everyone else had their chirpers on the microphone, and I was the weirdo that didn't. I have one more chirper that I could add to this. So yeah, at some point I'll have to add the other chirper as well. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna throw out the invite. It's only 1:30 a.m. by you. It's only 12:30 by me. But I want to be useful and do things that are. I want to have a productive day tomorrow. I have all these things like I really want to get the Ultimate Beginner's Guide done tomorrow. So we'll see. So there it is. I gotta change this real quick. All right, there we go. I'm kind of wondering, did you, anyone on Twitch, did you see if I was in the right category this evening? I kind of feel like I don't know that I was. I tried though. Good morning, Robert the Brewsy. Thank you for being here. Ever figure out mouse fatigue? I should have used the line tool. Yeah, that was the correct choice. Oh, I was. That's how you found me. I power search. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear that. Good. Yeah, I'm on hot tubs and pools. So you know about the third part of the stream. The third part of the stream. Can we do a Madison, Wisconsin map? I promise that we'll do that when we have more than just one. We'll start GeoGuessr earlier at some point. I feel like World is the most fair though. Average Zing, have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. You're wrong. Your cable car is actually called the aerial tram. I'm gonna set for anyone. I'm setting a 60-second timer, and then we'll dive in. That's for tier 3 only. Oh, Madison, Wisconsin. Well, that would be in the last quarter. Let's see. I missed a couple of little things. Smurf Power, thank you for the biddies. Darth Force for Frostbite X, thank you for the biddies. Dark Rider, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. Have I tried line tool on rocks like I said on YouTube? I have not. Someone mentioned that in the comments, and it's one of those things that I hadn't thought of ever doing, and I felt bad that I didn't do it. Like, how did I not think of doing that? That's so smart. Rise Camaro, you started watching my channel when I had just under 20,000 subscribers. Want to thank you for making awesome content. Thank you so much. It's kind of wild how long ago that was at this point, but it feels like it's just yesterday for me. It's wild. Brain freeze, you ready to screw up GeoGuessr now? It's gonna be. It won't be. You're not gonna screw it up. Just everyone on YouTube. It's gonna be a little bit longer. We have an ad break on Twitch for another 40 seconds, so I'll wait. CPB feels like an age. Missed you, buddy. Swebby Webby. Thank you for being here. Um, man, yeah, it's been a minute at this point. It's been a while. We started with 128k subs. I mean, even that's been a while at this point. I don't know why that overthrown thing keeps coming up, but it will. It will. Haven't played GeoGuessr in forever. Never played multiplayer. It's a lot of fun. And we're about to start. We got 1 second on the ad. Time to go. I just want to beat Vainglorious Gaming. That's my thing. Brandon's going to come back and beat me. Especially after the last time. Very tropical. Are we at a tree plantation of some sort? Swebby Webby, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for always being around. KF, good morning. KF, do you see anything that would make you think that this is a specific place? I have no idea at this point what to think of this. I've seen no language anywhere or any people. Yucatan? Yeah, not much to see. It's mountainous. I'll tell you what, chat, I'm not feeling good about this one at all. Oh boy, and I got to the end of the road. Okay, I'm gonna go right there. Yeah, okay, well, it could have been a lot worse. And it seems like no one got this, so I feel good about that. 16th place. I'll take it. I'll take it. DJ in first place with under 3,000 points. I'd love to see that. Yeah, DJ, excellent work. Yeah, Southeast Asia. It felt very Southeast Asia. I was thinking there or like Hawaii, but I felt like I'd see American road signs. I feel like in Southeast Asia, things aren't well labeled, or at least in the places that I've been, it's just not well labeled. And maybe that's like a choice. I mean, reasonably, sometimes things are over labeled where I am. Place seems a little worse for wear. Yeah, palm oil plantation is kind of what I was thinking as well. Central America, maybe? Just like language on a sign would be helpful. This gives you Southeast Asian vibes as well. Oh. There's a sign with something on it. And of course, I couldn't make any of it out. Little palm tree in the yard, though. So 15 seconds. Nicaragua. That's probably wrong. Oh my goodness, it was Romania. Oh, I could not have been any further away. I can't believe I still got points. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was embarrassing. Well, good for 23rd. Oh. DJ, how are you doing this? You didn't expect that, Icy? That was... I did not see that. Wow. Still 19th? Good work. Well, now I know where it is. Well, we're somewhere in Porto, so I'll just click it. That's helpful. I feel like, yeah, it even says Portugal on the back of the bus. I just need to find the street now. Yeah, you suck. I no. Listen, those two were absolutely ridiculously difficult. Um. Oh, churros. I'm looking at a churro stand. That's not all that helpful. Oh boy. I gotta get to Portugal, which I feel like is a very and the bridges. I watched a whole video on Porto. My wife said that it's one of the places she would like to really like to visit. And I know there's a lot of bridges there, but I know we're by one of them. I'm gonna say we're right about. That's a highway. I'm gonna say we're right about here or here. Wrong bridge. Wrong bridge. It didn't feel like. I mean, that like there's a landmark there. It seemed like a nice bridge, but it didn't seem like. Okay, whatever. 20 points lost. I'll take it. 21st. Everyone got that one. Porto has some cool trolleys too, does it? You're in the wrong city. I gotta get to Porto. I gotta get to Porto. Can I look at people as a hint? It's misleading sometimes though. They blur faces. Okay, well we're somewhere in this part of the world. Mercator Center. Big city, but where? Porto has the best average temperature year-round to live in. I could see that. I've heard that there's a lot of Californians that like to move to Portugal in general because the weather is very similar. Okay. 21, 22, 107. I have no idea, but I'm gonna pick. So 22, 21, 27, Georgia? You think it's Georgia? But that is kind of Soviet style architecture. That language doesn't look the same at all. I'm gonna. Oh no. Oh no. Lithuania. Oh, I was so wrong. It was Serbia. Oh my goodness. Just your guess. It might have been closer. This has been a rough one for me. This is part of the world. I just am not familiar enough with it. I need to get better. DJ just crushing it tonight. Bulgaria or Serbia? You were right. You were absolutely right. And now, who knows? It's not the US because of the streets. The white. It's very nice wherever we are. Hometown? Not Wisconsin. Too many mountains. It kind of looks vaguely Northern California, but it's clearly not because of the white center line. Katara Road? Was that English? That confuses me even more. You've been on this road? Australia? Is this Australia? It is Australia. Really? I mean, I'm out of time to be able to look. Looks like New Zealand. As someone who lives in Australia, I don't even have time to select a place in New Zealand. And you're right. You're absolutely right. It was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Good for 30th. I'll take that. Top 50%. Wow. And look at that. Windy Bog sneaks in and steals the win from DJ, who was in first the entire game. Windy Bog, good game. DJ, good game. Eric, good game. KC, good game. Cart, good game. Good game, everybody. And let's see. Steel Airship, 10th place. Nice work. Look at that. As always, the world is where it's supposed to be. I did just slightly worse than Brandon. Oh, 22nd place. Good job. You beat Vainglorious, Icy. I love to see it. We all have a goal, and it is to beat Brandon. And that's just because Brandon is so good. Consistently. Okay. I'm going to be delirious tomorrow if I don't leave, you guys. As much fun as it's been. 6-ish hours is my limit. So I think we're going to, even though I see one more, we can't do that. So we're going to call it. Twitch, can we give everyone on YouTube a quick heart while I figure out where we're going off to? And I will give everyone the right song. Or I'll try and fail. There it is. Thank you all so much. Thank you for being here. Get YouTube Premium. Agreed. SimCom%. I'm gonna see if anyone's playing Skylines. And if anyone's playing Skylines, oh, you know where we're going, guys. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is right. It's not. It said it was Moose was on, but Moose is clearly not on. Thank you so much, YouTube. We're gonna head out, but thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you all for being here. If Riri's on, we'll go to Riri. Anyway, for YouTube, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Next week it will be the earlier time. So hopefully I can see you all there. Otherwise in the VOD. Thank you so much. All that city planning map talk, top 10 stream all time. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. For me. Thank you. And for anyone who donated, thank you so much. We've done well tonight. 2,500 is going to be going to the food pantry, the second harvest. So thank you all so much. Great one for sure. Thanks again. Thank you all. I'm going to cut YouTube off and then we will raid somebody. See ya, YouTube.